Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Good morning. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. I hope you guys had a good weekend, man. We're back at it today. And there's plenty of nerd venging to do. A lot of cool stuff to get into today, man. We got to talk Venom box office. It blew up. Wait, what? It underperformed. Wait, what? But what about... Okay, we'll get into it. Is there a future for Venom? That's kind of the question. We're going to talk about it. On top of that, we got our first look at the Spider-Man Noir costume. I think this dropped like late Friday, and oh my god, bro, it looks so fucking good. Oh, it looks so good. And I'm not just saying that because I've said this show was gonna be like peak and bigger than The Boys like super early on, so now I'm like plot committed and I have to kind of just continue to do that. That's not the only reason. Also, what the hell is going on? Why is Streamlabs like this? Streamlabs, why are you like this? There's I gotta be missing something here. What the fuck? Why can't I can't put it in studio mode anymore? I can't see the other... Damn it. Okay, whatever. Well, we're in here today. What's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Streamlabs continues to suck, and Adam won't fix it for me, so that sucks. But I want to talk about Spider-Man Noir, man. That shit looks cool. It looks really cool. Did you guys see it? Did you see it all? You don't say that, right, Philip? Wait, what? What are you guys getting heated about in chat already? What is it? What's got you hot? Chat's trying to silence somebody. It's gonna be trash? What? What up, Greg and Lizzie? Hope you guys are doing well. Are you talking about the Spider-Man Noir show? No, that shit's gonna be cool, man. Spider-Man Noir. I think it's gonna be cool. So we got some reports on that I want to go over. There's also been some updates about the Ray movie. And I wanted to talk about that because, you know, Friday we did one of those classic rants about Star Wars, you know? But basically I don't think they're gonna listen to me, and I think they might even make a trilogy of Rey movies, if you can believe it. So I want to talk about that. I want to kind of share the evidence for that. And I mean, I guess it's possible. You know, one of the things I wanted to kind of touch on with that is, like, it is technically possible that they could make it better. They can make it better than what it is right now. I don't know. We'll get into it. Thoughts on UFC 308? It fucking sucked, dude. It fucking sucked. I don't know. What did you guys think? Any of you UFC fans, before we get any further into the actual stream here, what did you guys think? I hated it. Hated it. Okay? Part of why I hated it was I hate the Abu Dhabi cards. I hate that shit being in at 2 in the afternoon. It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's not the right vibe. I can't get into it. I can't, like, it's fucking terrible. So I don't know if I'm ever going to buy another Abu Dhabi card. I'm sorry. Fuck that. Okay? Second of all my favorite fighters got demolished in horrible fashion. Watching Chris Barnett twist his shit in the prelims, heartbreaking. Okay? I guess Shallow won, and that was cool. Like, I liked the performance there by Shallow, but, like, bro. Yeah. So, yeah. I think, the right way is, like, what the fuck is going on here? Okay. There we go. Yeah, not super pumped. Not super pumped is probably the best way to say it about the UFC card. That shit kind of sucked. So, yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. Got some good cards to look forward to still. But, like, UFC this year started out super strong. They've had, I don't know, my interest has certainly waned over the last 6 months. Thoughts on Trump being on Rogan? Well, you know, we try not to be political here, Dirty, so you're banned forever for that question. But I mean, like, I don't think it moves the needle in any way, shape, or form. It's like, just like a lot of other things, people are gonna go in feeling how they already feel, and nobody's gonna feel differently. You know what I mean? At this point, everybody's locked in, I think. And what is that? That's like in it's next Tuesday, right? Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. And then hopefully we know really quickly who it is. And then we can work on going back to not giving a shit for 4 years. And then it'll really matter again in 4 years. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that reprieve. Because you live in the battleground state, PA, are you being flooded with ads? I mean, a little bit, but I don't really interact with that kind of content, right? So, like, you know, they'll get me a little bit here and there on, like, somehow there's ads on Netflix and Amazon and all kinds of shit now. So, like, yeah, I still get a little bit of that. But I will say the most annoying thing for us has actually been that both of these candidates come to my exact city, and they've been coming, frankly, too much. It fucks up traffic. It just kind of throws off your whole day. So again, I just can't wait until in a couple of weeks they will go back to not caring about this city much at all. So that'll be great, and I look forward to that. I look forward to just living the day-to-day normal ass life. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is that controversial? Is that a controversial take? Yeah, they've been coming too much. They've been gooning basically all over the city. Okay, anyway, you know what else I wanted to talk about today, guys? So we got our 3 main topics, but I also want to go over week 2 of the Nielsen charts for Agatha and for the Penguin. Look, at the end of the day, it continues to be what it is. They're both not popular, but there is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, maybe for Agatha. The numbers released for the episode 7 week are kind of impressive, but we have to see that reflected in the Nielsen charts. It's also possible both shows get a little bit of a boost, just overall word of mouth and stuff like that. And I will say this right here. I have not seen the new episode of Penguin. I have not seen the new episode of Penguin. I'll probably watch it. I just don't know when. But Penguin has been just incredibly boring to me. We didn't even remember that Penguin was coming out last night. Actually, instead, we watched Eyes Wide Shut. We've been going through sort of like spooky movies that we like for the season. So instead, watched Eyes Wide Shut. And obviously, this is not like a Eyes Wide Shut channel or like a big cinephile channel. But I will say that if there was ever a movie that was like had unlimited rewatch value, I think it would be Eyes Wide Shut. Every single time I watch that movie, I try to come up with like new theories, new ideas. I'm trying to sort of distill the meaning that's maybe hidden within the film. That shit's awesome. So I had a great time doing that, to be honest with you. Corey says, yo, Josh, I saw Venom 3 yesterday and I loved it. I watched your reaction and understood it, but the movie worked for me. A lot of heart, in my opinion. Love you. Yeah, it did have a lot of heart. I agree with that. I agree with that, bro. Okay, let me catch up on just a couple of chats. I know Rossi gifted 5 memberships. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, brother. Okay, so Javier was first in today. Says, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much. Rossi gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, bro. The God 806. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Austin asks, grilled cheese or buffalo mac and cheese? That would be grilled cheese for me. I'm not a huge mac and cheese person. You know what I mean? There's some mac and cheeses I can get down with. I actually like shells and cheese a little bit more. And then if it's like a really cheesy mac and cheese or shell and cheese, and it's got like some breading on the top, that shit's pretty cool. That's pretty good. So I can fucks with that. But Corey says, okay, yeah. And then Rossi says, I was sad as well. Bobby Knuckles and Max lost. I know, right? MMA Media says UFC has 5-year cycle. Max and Bobby losing is like that. Max looked so dejected. Well, I think the crazy part of it was like Max actually fought a really good fight. I was getting super hyped up because his first 2 rounds he was winning. And he was piecing him up. His boxing was really unpredictable. But I think the thing about Ilya is so technically sound. Like, people keep saying that he's like really powerful, which is true, but his power comes from technique. It's not like raw strength. He's 145 pounds. But look at the hook he landed. That thing is arced perfectly. So he's using like perfect kinetic energy. This guy's like fucking Batman, dude. Like, Ilya Topuria is like Batman. He's way more technical than people even give him credit for right now, in my opinion. So it's one of those situations where Max, maybe at the top of his game, literally fight IQ through the roof, doing exactly what he needs to do, and he still gets caught. It's crazy. Like, that's crazy. So Ilya and Potan, maybe Chimaev. It's hard to say, right? Because Chimaev looked really good, but he's also been, struggling with all the health issues and everything like that. Like, there's this crop of newer fighters that are like really showing something that I don't know how much we've seen before. It's crazy. It's really good. Very, very cool. He's so small. Ilya and Alex at lightweight are unstoppable in the current weight classes. Yeah, they might actually be. Although I think I do think Ankalaev does, actually represent like a big threat for Alex. Like, a lot of people have made that comparison because of the wrestling, but I just think also the threat of wrestling, but also he has like an awkward style of stand-up, which I think could be good too. So I don't know. It's a fun game, and I still, obviously, I'm a big fan of the UFC, big fan of Ultimate Fighting, but I will just say that the last couple of months have been kind of stale. I'd say even maybe the back half of the year has been kind of stale. I was not super pumped with the product on Saturday, partially because, brother, I just can't do this 2 a.m. or 2 in the afternoon shit. Like, that's crazy to me. We can't do that. So, did you see what Chimaev did to Whitaker's teeth? Yeah. So that one's kind of interesting because there were a lot of people that talked about that injury, speculated about it when the photo came out. Rob is saying that that's an old injury, that it's not as bad as some people are making it out to be, that he has had that problem with his jaw before. So maybe like they're just going to get it officially fixed or something. But I mean, before I heard that, I was like, oh, bro, this dude's done. Because that's like such a unique break, right? And it was crazy how fast he tapped too. But yeah, we'll see. John says, not the biggest Ilya fan, but even told my buddy he has that thing. McGregor had to win, except Ilya is actually going to do something with it. Yeah, Ilya is a really interesting cat. I mean, I don't know if anybody's better than Prime Connor. I'm just going to be real. Like, I don't know if there's a single fighter that was better than Prime Connor. And I actually think, like, Connor defeated himself, really. Sure, the leg injury, but even before that, like, I just think he kind of defeated himself. I mean, yeah. But Prime Connor on his run-up was something special, crazy, and he has, like, the thing that Connor had that nobody had was, like, his fast twitch muscle fibers were, like, superhuman. Like, his ability to come over the top from, like, not even, like, full, like, hip rolling, like, hit. and land something with enough force to knock people out was crazy. The precision was crazy. But I think Ilya is more complete than Connor was back then. I think Connor was ahead of the curve because a lot of the striking wasn't as sophisticated back then. But Ilya is like, he's doing stuff that's crazy to better opponents than I think even Connor did, in my opinion. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't even really like Ilya. I'm going to be honest. Like, his personality and stuff like that, not a fan. But you can't deny what you're seeing. Like, it's that's what it is to be undeniable, you know? Rozzy says, did you... Yeah, the jar. The jaw, yeah. Islam is good. So, Islam Ilya would be really interesting, huh? Can they make that happen? They're technically different weight classes, yeah? Prime Connor isn't even top fighter of all time. I disagree, but, like, there's a part of me that understands what you're saying because, again... Connor's sort of a product of the moment. He came on the scene with the right stuff that was the antidote to his weight class, and actually 2 weight classes at the time. So I don't think he's even as complete. But I would say, you want to know one of my favorite Conor McGregor fights of all time is? It's the second Nate Diaz fight. And if you watch the second Nate Diaz fight, like, you might not necessarily like love it because Connor is very strategic. He even walks away from Nate a couple of times in the fight, and you could see he was like, I'm just gonna piece this dude up and not overcommit. You know what I mean? Because, like, that's the danger with Nate, especially then, is like, you can't knock him out. So when you get into the danger zone and you try to close, like, he's gonna show you why he's a really good boxer, because he is a good boxer. But if you watch that second Nate Diaz fight, like, you could just see the master strategist at work. And I gotta say, dude, that you gotta remember to go back to that moment. The hype train had been a little bit derailed by Nate, and then Connor puts everything on hold and just wants that fight back. And that was like impressive, because you gotta consider what would have happened if he lost that fight. It's kind of like what happened with Volk when Volk loses the second Islam fight, or Max when he loses the second or the third Volk fight, right? Like, Connor made that same decision and won by any means necessary, and it wasn't necessarily a pretty performance. That moment, to me, that fight really solidified Connor as a very, very good strategic fighter as well. Second from Disaster says, I like Venom 3 overall, but I had so many problems with this one. Way more than the other 2 Venom movies. Unpopular opinion, but I like Venom 2 the best. Holy shit, what? Hey, holy shit, bro, what? Bro, no, there ain't no way, bro, no! No, bro, there ain't no way! You know, what's interesting is you kind of align with the critics a little bit here. I can't believe that the critics are giving the second one the best score. I can't believe that. But that is technically the case. You look at it, not only is Venom 2 the highest Rotten Tomato rated Venom movie, I'm pretty sure it's the highest Rotten Tomato rated Sony Spider-Man movie. Outside of course, like, you know, the actual Spider-Man movies and the Tom Holland John. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit. Holy shit. Isn't that crazy, though? Yeah, I think that's crazy. Carnage was wasted. Uh-oh, Justin coming in hot. Why is punk-ass Star Wars on the thumbnail? Can't we just have a good Monday and shit on how bad Venom 3 mid-dance box office is? Oh my god, bro. You dug deep on that one. You were like, I'm gonna trigger this motherfucker today. Well done. Zach says with the 10 spot, happy Monday, my fellow nerds. I gotta watch this after work, but I actually enjoyed Venom 3. There you go. Was it setting up a new Eddie Brock in the MCU, maybe? Thanks for the goated content. Much love. Wait, Justin wasn't a Nerd Venture? What the hell? Now he's a Nerd Venture again? Welcome back, brother. You are a Nerd Venture once again. Hey, appreciate you, Zach. Thanks so much. Hey, guys, before we get into the news, can we talk just a little bit about, like, streams in the channel for a second here? Can we talk just about like streams, the channel, the future, some things I wanted to do? I've been thinking a lot about, you know, how can we stay a little bit more on top of the news? You know, we did a thing for, and this wasn't even the subathon. This was before the subathon when we were just trying to get to 2,000 members. And I said when we got to 2,000 members, we would stream another day of the week. And that was Thursday. But what we ended up doing a lot of the time was like doing a stream where we watch a movie or we watch something together. And I love those streams. I think they're fun. But they're also not like your regularly scheduled content. And we're not usually like going over all of the news. Also, we have to usually leave YouTube because they won't let us just watch stuff on YouTube, right? So I've been thinking about this problem and what do I want to do about it? And I kind of think I have a solution, or at least the beginning of a plan. I have the bare bones of a plan here, okay? So I was thinking, and I just want to throw this out there and see what you guys think. I was thinking, what if we push the streams back to either noon or 1 p.m., right? So either noon or 1 p.m., and we streamed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So we go to the 4 days, but they're officially Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and every stream we're going to talk about news. Every stream we'll talk about news, but we'll also have like a lot of opportunity to do other stuff, react to videos, watch stuff, game, all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. What do you guys think about this? No Fridays. Yeah, I was thinking about not doing Fridays. You know, like I could do Fridays, but here's the thought process on this. And by the way, if you're watching this on the replay, you got to let me know in chat. A lot of the people that are here right now, not loving it. Not loving it so far in chat. But that's also because like they're kind of here at 11 and that's their thing. Okay? So replay squad, you got to let me know. Does noon or 1 p.m. work for you? Okay. So, why? Why do I want to do this? Well, right now, like, my schedule's kind of discombobulated, where, like, I will sometimes make a video, okay? But then by the time the video comes out, I will have already done a stream, which kind of devalues some of the stuff that we talk about in the videos. And that problem can be corrected by having the videos be different than the streams and the videos be a little bit more in-depth and a little bit more produced. But the problem with that is that it takes time, okay? So I've been kind of struggling with this for a while, and something's got to give. So in my mind, if I have more of my morning into the afternoon to work on videos, then I could do a stream after I got all of that done. And this would give me the space to potentially, even if it's like a really, really important bit of news, potentially upload a video before we stream, or just do a stream like that's news based a little bit more casually, and then allow like a more in-depth, more well-produced video to release on the main channel. So that's that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I also, if I did this right, so I would do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's not like we wouldn't still have a few evening streams here and there, and it's not like we wouldn't have Saturday streams. But the point is, we would be leaving room to like do stuff each week instead of being locked up in a certain schedule that doesn't give me a lot of time to like create or come up with creative stream ideas, stuff like that, right? So, yeah, we haven't had a diamond stream in 6 weeks. Well, you know what? Also, I've been thinking about the diamond stream, guys. I don't think we can do them anymore, but we will have one this Friday. And I think the diamond stream this Friday will be incredible. It's going to be like a Halloween themed one, and I will be in costume. Yeah. Yeah. No, like I'm actually kind of serious about the diamond streams. I don't think we can do them anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry. And look, this is one of those situations where like you guys just won't like it. There's no way you're gonna like it. But also, I just have to make the right call here. Like that's just what it is. That's what it is. No, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Totally serious. Totally serious. I know. Trust me, I get it. I'm thinking of, and I'm trying to come up with some solution. Like maybe we could do it and we have a toned down version of it. But the current way that it's going is just not good. Yeah, I know. It's sad. Josh is so Hollywood right now. No, it's just like that's just the reality of it. And look, there's certain things here that you guys just won't either. It's not that you don't understand it. It's just that you don't have to live the consequences of it. And I do. And my family does. So there will be some moments where I just have to make the right call. And there's not a good way to maybe present that or smooth it over or whatever. I'm sorry. That's literally all I can do. Doc, what you need today, Josh? I don't know what that means. Early morning delusions? I don't even know what that means. Yeah. Look, first theory, now you're leaving us. No. So wait, the perks for Nerdvengers are only one extra stream a week then? No, there's a lot of perks for being a Nerdvenger. I don't think I'm removing anything. I mean, other than the Diamond Lounge, but the Diamond Lounge was always kind of like here's what I'll say about it. If you were really a member solely to do the Diamond Lounge streams, then I failed when I made that system. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's a failure on my part. How I learn about aliens. Yeah, I shouldn't be talking to you guys about aliens. Like, let's just be real. Should I be talking to you guys about aliens? I mean, maybe casually or whatever, you know? But I don't know. I don't think so. Nate says, yo, hope all is good. Been missing the streams. I'm in a gaming stint. We grinded Fortnite onto BO6. Have you tried it out yet? Appreciate the channel. Thank you. No, I haven't tried it out. I don't think I'm going to. Now, I might try when Black Ops 6 goes to Warzone. Is it going to Warzone? At some point? I've seen some streamers play it. I've watched a couple people play it. I watched Tim play it a little bit. I actually watched Shroud play it a little bit. Shroud's still just ridiculous. But I'm not that interested. Maybe I would play Warzone, but I don't know, man. The battle royales are kind of yeah, I don't know. They're losing their appeal. I haven't played a battle royale in a long time. I'm interested in that. Have you guys been kind of drifting from the battle royale genre? I certainly have, man. I used to play Apex a lot. I used to play Warzone. Man, I even tried, like, there was a fantasy version of a battle royale. I forget what that one was called, but I tried that out. Fortnite, of course. I guess Fortnite's the one I play, frankly. Fortnite's the one. Yeah, no, I've kind of drifted a bit. Andrea says, damn, I became a member and then the Diamond Lounge is gone. I guess I'm out. Hey man, if that's the conclusion you've come to, I apologize. If that's why you were hanging, then yeah, you should probably go. Riley says, sadly saw this coming whenever he said he was getting an agent and such. Totally get it, but rip the Diamond Lounge. You know, my team hasn't said anything about the Diamond Lounge. It's literally just a me thing. Do you know what really made me realize that the Diamond Lounge was a bad idea? getting off Twitter. Yeah, dude. Like, when I got off Twitter, and I'm really enjoying my time off. You know, there was certainly a withdrawal period. There was certainly a withdrawal period. But, nah, it was like realizing that there's like a lane I'm trying to kind of create content within. And of course, there's no shortage of distractions or incendiary or inflammatory conversations or things to kind of get into. Yeah. So that kind of made me realize, I was like, well, if I've realized that that's stupid, this cannot possibly be a good move over here. You know what I mean? But I will say this. I'm not ending the Diamond Lounge right now. But I probably am going to. Yeah. We're going to have one this Friday, though. We'll have one this Friday, and it'll be a really good Diamond Lounge. We'll be the last Diamond Lounge. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But, yeah. And to be honest with you, too, like, I wasn't even planning on saying anything about the Diamond Lounge. It just kind of, like, came out. Yeah, maybe we'll delay it indefinitely. You know, bro, this is a sign. People are too weirdly upset about it. No. I actually totally understand it. I totally get why people are upset about it. But the reality, here's, man, it's a tough conversation to have because there's just a lot of stuff that, frankly, just isn't, it's not anyone's business, you know? And I think, you know, content's interesting, streaming's interesting, and I have, like, you know, this sort of parasocial thing with a lot of my chat and everything, and I think partially, I mean, you guys tell me, I think that there's a level of support and community here that is a bit unique to other places, partially because I've been so open and put my heart on my sleeve so much, and, you know, been authentic. Part of that comes through in the Diamond Lounge streams. And I will say that the one thing that is interesting about the Diamond Lounge streams is I walk away from every single one of them feeling incredible. And I feel like we have an incredible time. I don't want to lose that. And I want to continue to do that. But there's probably a smarter way to do it than what we had been doing. Which was like essentially like literally the Diamond Lounge streams where let's get fucked up and talk about whatever. And boy, did we ever. You know? So, yeah, I got to be honest with you. I don't think there's a place for that in what I want to do anymore. Period. You know what I mean? And it's like, I totally, fully acknowledge that that'll ruffle some feathers. That'll make some people upset. But I have to do what I think is right. Period. You know, there's a part of, you know, we don't even have to say anymore. We don't even have to say anymore. That's literally all I need to say. And you guys can make up your own mind. I will be here and I will continue to be not only providing what I consider to be good content and content that I try to make good and entertaining, but a lot of other things. It's not like I'm making like all restrictive decisions. I'm actually making decisions so that we can do more and have better content and have more fun and do more things with the community. So I'm in that mindset, but you don't maybe necessarily see all of that. So in the short term, if some people get turned off, that's completely fine. Totally understand it. Totally understand it. So, tis what it is, ladies and gentlemen. But to get sort of back on track, the more important thing, and the thing that frankly I'm more open to receiving feedback about, is the streams themselves. So I think streaming at either noon or 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, potentially Friday too. I'm open to, you know, doing that. But I think that would be better. Yeah. So this is how Theory felt. Well, look, you know what? To a degree, like, you're being cheeky, but it's actually true. So, you know, I'm not saying that I always handle these things the best, but I will say this. When I make a goddamn decision, I've made a decision. You know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe a little. Did you watch last night? Bro, I didn't watch Penguin last night, man. I did not watch Penguin last night. Did you guys watch Penguin last night? 1 p.m. Why do you think 1 p.m. would be good, bro? Because I'm kind of thinking 1 p.m. could be really good too. Yes, why wouldn't I watch a great show? Okay, fine. Don't even have HBO Max? Bro, it's just Max now. You're so behind the times, brother. You're so behind the times. Josh makes decisions confirmed. Yeah, I mean, it is. I don't watch Penguin. Probably as boring as Andor. I think so. You know what? I'll give it a little credit. Here's what I'll say about Penguin. I think they're both equally boring, but Andor also happens to be like not Star Wars. But Penguin is DC stuff. I mean, I think Penguin is hitting a lot of the notes that are familiar to DC, and I don't feel like it's an affront to DC. You know what I mean? So I'll give it credit for that. Did you see Theory next to Wembley? Bro, that shit was awesome. That's a great photo. And by the way, I'm so happy that Theory's been killing it. He's, you know, doing really good with Theory sabers. That Wembley picture was wild. But you know what's interesting about the Wembley picture? This motherfucker makes everybody look short. There's nobody that looks tall standing next to Wembley. So in some weird way, it made me actually see Theory as taller. Does that make sense? Like, sure, he looks, you know. It's not Wembley. It's Wemby. Are you serious? It's Wemby? That's his name? God, what a terrible name. Sorry, Wemby, but that's terrible. You should change your name to Wembley. Wembley. Just try it a couple times. Try it. Let it roll out of your mouth. Wembley. Just say it a couple times. Wembley. It almost sounds French. It almost sounds like a type of croissant. Wembley. Okay, so Wemby. Is that what we gotta say? How about you learn his name? Damn, okay, Dad. Fucking Adam coming in here. Why don't you just learn the man's name? Be respectful. Oh, shit. Nuck and Fut says, 40 fucking months? I think the Diamond Lounge can survive on Discord. You know what? That's a fair point. Yeah, so I think taking it off of YouTube is what I want to do. Yeah. So I'm open to that. But, okay, so here's my question about Discord. Here's my question about it, though. Because, look, here's either way, I'm probably going to tighten it up a little bit. Either way, I got to tighten it up a little bit. Okay? Does that seem reasonable? And I can't have it on YouTube anymore. It's just too much of a threat. I mean, we just lost the Twitter account of like 24,000 followers, and I loved my fucking Twitter account. And we lost it because somebody false reported us, right? So like we have ops. We got like opposition. There's people that literally are trying to like take me out. Some of them I actually know who they are, and I know why they hate me, and it's hilarious. Like these are really grumpy people. But we cannot continue to allow it to be on YouTube. So, my question for Discord is, if I stream on Discord via video, I can only let so many people in there, right? Right? Yeah. Adam said it. Private voice chat on. Well, I would want to do video though. I'd want to do video. Do a Zoom meeting? What the hell? You could Zoom with 500? Brother, that's not a bad idea. We could do it through Zoom and I just send out the link on Discord. Not with a stage. I think it could be massive. But isn't that stage only audio? Or am I wrong? No, we don't need to necessarily up the time, make it 2 years. That's not what I'm concerned about. The reality, what I'm concerned about is like, if I'm doing something or saying something on that stream and I'm obviously less in control, right? Although, you know, you guys know I could pretty much hold it down. But it's just not worth running the risk of some kind of report because then it could affect all the channels on YouTube. Does that make sense? Twitch only? Nah. That would be too weird. That'd be too complicated. Zoom has a class has 300 people in it. No one has audio or video except the host. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Okay, so I can't believe it, but Diamond Lounges are going to stay. Diamond Lounges are going to stay. Would you guys be willing to get Zoom to continue the Diamond Lounges? Would you be willing? Zoom not long enough? What does that mean? What does that mean? It's not long enough. Okay, seems like people would do it. What a fucking compromise. See, I'm not so unreasonable. Rumble? I mean, we could probably do whatever the fuck we want on Rumble. I don't know too much about it. Somehow Zoom returned. Yeah, I can't believe it. And also, too, you know what's cool about Zoom, guys? I'm pretty sure there's no VOD, right? It's not like there's a VOD. Or is there a VOD? I'll effing move to another state if I have to in order to continue the Diamond Lounge streams. Well, you don't have to do all that, brother. You don't have to do all that. We just can't do them on YouTube. Depending on the boosting level for Discord, you can have up to 300 people on a video stage. What? Really? So we can just do it through Discord, potentially. Okay. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Think Discord is the move? Yeah, maybe that's the move, yeah. So wait a minute. Is this guy's name really Wimby? You're telling me that this dude, a giant among men, his name is Wimby? Or is it Wemby or something? Like, how do I say this? Den of Wemby? By the way, how fucking disrespectful am I being? You know, he walked up to Theory's booth, and instead of like lifting Theory by his head, he like got a saber. But if this clip makes it to this motherfucker, when he comes to the Unity booth next year, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna be like, Mr. Wemby, sir, I'm so sorry. Definitely not Wembley. That's stupid. Who would say that? Who would do that? Can you imagine getting punched by that guy? I wonder if he can, you think he could throw hands? I'm so fascinated. I want to do an interview with this guy and just know what it's like to be that type of a person. Because it's almost like Superman. Where, like, at a certain age, you just have to recognize you're so different than everybody else that you're going to have to live a little bit guarded. He's a twig. It would be a light breeze. You think so, though? Because, like, torque's a thing. What's his wingspan, bro? What's his wingspan? He could probably send that thing back like 7 feet and then like slingshot it. He's like fucking Luffy. Easy takedown? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, he can glide? What the fuck does that mean? He comes in like an albatross? Like, like coming in like that? Okay. Okay, chat. So now we've made up. We're going to continue the Diamond Lounge. Are you guys still mad at me, or can we do the news and stuff now? By the way, this week, we're just going to do regular. We're going to do regular stream schedule, everything regular. I was thinking Wednesday night. We don't have a deep dive. Oh, shit. We don't have a deep dive. I want a deep dive on the Scarlet Spider. You know, we always talk about it. I don't know if I could commit a whole month to it, but I could commit a stream. Let's do it Wednesday night, baby. We can do the news now. Okay, gotcha. Chat basically bullied Josh into keeping the diamond streams. I wouldn't say that they bullied me. I would say that they came in with strong. You know what we did? You know what we did? This is really it. We made a deal. We made a deal today, guys. You know, and I appreciate it. I'm not so stubborn that I would ignore all feedback and all possibilities. However, there were some things I can't bend on. Right? And we figured it out. We figured it out. Basically, as long as we're off the platform and we keep the VOD views to an absolute minimum, we can still get wasted and baked as a cake and talk about the aliens. Okay? Yeah. So, good deal. That's compromised. That's a good deal. Josh getting extorted by the manager? No. Like I said, they didn't even have a conversation with me, although I did get a call. I haven't actually... I didn't pick up, but I did get a call. But I think it's for something else. But, yeah. All right. Shall we talk some news, ladies and germs? Shall we talk some news? Oh, by the way, Twitch, are you guys feeling even worse than regular chat? What's up, Twitch? Okay, let's... Oh my god. Twitch, what's up? Let me catch up on Twitch a little bit. Star Wars is cooked as long as KK is in charge. We should have gotten the Kenobi trilogy. Quantum Blast, thanks for subscribing on for 7 months. And then literally I killed the Prime stream, and then he got real mad. Let's see here. We need to get Venom 2 rewatch. Siri 1 subscribe with Prime over on Twitch. Appreciate you. Thought that pic was Photoshop? No, that's real. Discord link never works. It's official. Not only does Josh ignore Twitch, he hates it. Okay, all right, everybody. All right, hey, all right, everybody. Hey, by the way, CC Rider says, next Diamond Lounge, can we get a 10 to 15 minute on the Dark Pyramid in Alaska? Streams have been fire lately. Much love. Yeah, we could do that. We could talk about that pyramid. Man, pyramid's so interesting, huh? So I recently saw this thing. Let me just say a little, and this is why, like, I can't do this, because I'll get completely lost down the rabbit hole, and then I basically expose how much I have thought about all of these things. But there's so many pyramids. So many pyramids. Have you guys seen all the pyramids? There's so many pyramids. And one must ask, why are there so many pyramids? Do you know what the traditional answer to this is? Does anybody know what the standard answer is of why there's so many pyramids? No, believe it or not, the standard answer is not the Illuminati. No. Yeah, Nick actually has it. It's a logical structure to build because it has a wide base and smaller top, so it's just like the best way people with a lack of technology could build something really, really big. And I just don't know about that shit, bro. That seems weird. Okay, let's get into this, man. We got a lot to talk about today. One of the things I wanted to this is not actually one of our topics. Okay, but I wanna tease this. If this thing drops during the stream, we might have to stop what we're doing and go read this article here. So, 20 hours ago, Lizzie Hill, the editor-in-chief of the Cosmic Circus, says currently editing an Alex Spider-Man theory article. And then Alex said, the first of many. We're going to break down a lot of things, and it's going to be a fun read. Stay tuned. Okay, so the main reason that I'm, like, really interested in this is because I have no idea what the fuck's going on with Spider-Man 4. Okay? There's a lot of questions here. You know, the biggest one being probably, like, how does this fit into the multiversal saga? Because... What? Wait, he dropped it last night? It's already out? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Hang on. Really? What does he say in the article? Okay, well, cool. Check this out. We could start with this one then. Okay. Whoa, they did drop it. Whoa. Okay, here we go. Boom. Man. That is neat. I did not think it was done yet. But that's show. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's see if we can glean any information. Ready? Theory. Spider-Man 4's grounded story. While the rumor mill on what lies ahead for Peter Parker has been running nonstop since the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, that's true, recent buzz has made it a trending topic once again. Over the past few weeks, many reports have been made regarding the progress of the fourth installment in the franchise. And that's totally true, man. The amount of times that we talked about this on stream, the amount of videos we've made, holy shit, a lot of stuff coming out there about Spider-Man's. Tom Holland will return to reprise his role as the iconic web slinger in Spider-Man 4 alongside Zendaya, who is also confirmed to return to the franchise as MJ. Daniel Cretton, the director behind Shang-Chi, is set to direct the project, stepping in for John Watts. The film is slated to be released on July 24th, 2026. The ending of No Way Home saw the existence of Peter Parker being wiped from everyone in the universe's memory to prevent the multiverse from imploding, including his closest friends, Ned Leeds and MJ. In doing so, Peter is left to his own devices, living on his own in New York, as Peter Parker is no more. But Spider-Man lives on. This open ending allows writers to write the next chapter of Spider-Man's story with few limitations. Okay. Eric Sommers and Chris McKenna, who wrote the 2021 No Way Home, are writing the script for the next film. That's cool. Over the past few days, Holland has teased the story, praising the work and stating it's a real movie worthy of the fans' respect. However, online discourse has been divided on what the Spider-Man story should be. A statement like the one Holland shared regarding the film's story is bold. There will always be a sect of fans who might not like the direction of a film's story, which is certainly true for Spider-Man fans. That's true. Spider-Man fans are very picky. Kind of wild. There's this famous meme that's like, don't mess with Spider-Man fans. They don't even like Spider-Man. And it's like, if you, especially like from the comics right now, like, dude, Amazing Spider-Man right now, people fucking hate that book. And they've been hating what Zeb Wells has been doing on that for like a long time. So it is kind of interesting. Over the past few weeks, the main point of debate has been whether or not Peter's story following the events of No Way Home should aim to be more grounded or multiversal. The story arc for the past few years since the start of Phase 4 has put the multiverse in the spotlight across many projects. Understandably, many fans are tired of the multiverse story trope, and some believe it tends to get repetitive throughout many projects, using it over the years as a crutch to compensate for poor storytelling and legacy cameos in their projects. In addition to that, Marvel and Sony have already used the multiverse story trope in Spider-Man No Way Home, so if they went for a multiverse story again, some fans might feel as though the next installment might be a repeat of the last film, cheapening the value of No Way Home. Okay, I'm with it so far. That's interesting. I think that's fair. I do want to just stop and say one thing here, okay? It feels like the multiverse saga, mostly like Doomsday and Secret Wars, they are absolutely rushing this shit. Like, there's just no way around it. Like, one of the things that's out there right now, and I was thinking about doing a whole video kind of breaking this down, but I'll just tell you here. Daniel RPK is reporting that there's one movie between those two Marvel movies and one secret project. And that's it. So that kind of sucks. At least from my perspective, because what I was desiring as a fan, right, was we create Battleworld, and then we have a couple of years, or at least a year, with Battleworld projects, and everything seems really cool, and then you get Secret Wars, and it wraps it up. Okay? We don't know for sure, but we've literally went from thinking there would be 3 Battleworld projects, maybe 4, down to 2, down to possibly 1. Because I think Doctor Strange 3 is actually going to come out before Doomsday. Nothing confirmed, but that's the feeling I'm starting to get. You know, and part of that has to do with even stuff that Alex has reported, because Alex has said that they really want to focus on Stephen Strange and Doctor Doom. And just like in the comics, where the end of time runs out is kind of really just about like Doom and Strange at the end of their own crusades to try to figure all of this out, kind of coming together and finally attacking the Beyonders and creating Battleworld, right? So, look, bro, I don't love that. Like, I don't love that. But the reality is, it really does feel like they are just trying to get past the multiverse stuff. They want, A, the reboot, and B, they want the X-Men. Right? So, I don't know. I have conflicting feelings about this. However, as Tom Holland himself noted during his appearance on the Rich Roll podcast, one of the things to bear in mind with Marvel is that your film is a small cog in a large machine, and that machine has got to keep running. And you need to make sure that you can fit into that timeline at the right time to benefit the bigger picture. That's one of the challenges we're facing. The time in which we need to get that done is a tall order, but achievable with the fantastic people we have working on it now. Wow. And I do think, I think that's fair. A tall order is correct, especially if you want to tell a street-level story just after the bombshell of a movie that is expected a few months prior with Avengers Doomsday. Right, this is the whole thing, right? In the next few articles, we will present a few ideas about the directions Spider-Man's story could take in the next few years. To kick things off, we will explore the concept of a street-level story that could be adapted into the current landscape of the multiversal saga for an upcoming film in a way that makes sense for everyone. Ooh, okay. By the way, this is probably, I would imagine this is going to take Alex to the conclusion that I had, which is that this will be a remade universe, that the sacred timeline will be changed in Doomsday, but at the beginning of Spider-Man, it will just appear to be like a regular universe. Okay, I'd imagine that's what he's going to get into, but let's see. Before the arrival of Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland is set to make his MC return in the upcoming Doomsday. The film, penned by Steve McFeely, is directed by Joe and Anthony Russo, will be responsible for presenting Peter's first interactions and moments since the events of No Way Home. So audiences will be looking forward to seeing how his story picks up from there. The current rumor mill behind Doomsday seems to indicate that we will see the effects of the incursions play out, with Doctor Doom being the clever mastermind behind it all, and potentially creating a battle world using the remnants of the final universes by the end of it. Or maybe a new sacred timeline. I think that's the key. I think it's the new sacred timeline. Just 2 months after Doomsday, we would be getting Spider-Man 4. So some rumors have pointed out some of the characters that would be a part of the cast of this movie, including Michael Keaton's Vulture, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, a second female lead, and even Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. Additional reports have also stated that the upcoming film would be a sequel as opposed to a prequel. This was something Daniel clarified in the last couple of days. No prequel. A lot of people thought, okay, well, maybe they could do the prequel thing, which is technically what they did with Captain Marvel, right? And that makes sense, but that is not what they were doing. So it's cool that we got some kind of confirmation about that. What if by the end of Avengers Doomsday, Doom got his way and managed to create a brand new world? Not necessarily Battle World, but rather a new sacred timeline. Yeah. With different universes and timelines interwoven together to create a new Earth. After all, He Who Remains did that to make the sacred timeline, which we know as the Infinity Saga. Bro, this is exactly what I've been talking about. And also, by the way, chat, I just wanted to say, number one, we need way more likes on this video. That's crazy. Less than 300 likes. What the fuck are we doing? Okay, number two, more importantly, I have a big video dropping later today. I'm talking about a big video. It is my refined and complete Doctor Doom theory. So this has to do with the theory that we talked about Iron Man being a variant, but it's expanded on. And I reference all sorts of pieces of news and information that have been coming out in the past couple of months, because the one thing you got to remember is when I came up with that theory, and definitely not you guys in chat, and then I was like, you know what, that could work, and then it like came up. When I came up with this theory, it was within a couple of weeks of the actual announcement at San Diego Comic-Con. So we didn't have nearly the evidence that we now have. And I think, frankly, there's more evidence than ever that my theory is correct. But there's actually more to it, too. So make sure you watch that video. I would probably watch that video today. I'd probably watch it like twice, maybe 3 times. It's really good. It's really good. And there's like so much. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Even the Watcher says, I got to give credit where it's due because Josh theorized that it would be set in Doom timeline. I mean, guys, you know, hey, some things I'm good at, some things I'm bad at. This is one of those things I'm pretty good at. Okay, let's keep going, though. Yeah. Rumor has it that one of the more important interactions of the film will be Peter Parker and Doctor Doom. After all, Doom carries the face of Peter's former mentor, Tony Stark, albeit the iconic mask will likely cover his face. Not to mention, if Doom is investigating the cause of the incursions, there is no doubt that the one that caused by Peter and Doctor Strange will be at the top of his list. Yeah, so that would be, what Miguel references in Across the Spider-Verse, which, remember, was originally going to link to Kang. That was something they were working on. So he talks about, the little nerd and Doctor Strange on Earth 1999999 in the Spider-Verse movie. Yeah, so that's like obviously still an important part of whatever was happening as the multiverse was destroyed. Okay, this will make him interested in, at the very least, talking about the characters, but that's another article for another day. Oh my God, bro. Suppose Doom offered Peter the opportunity to safely undo the effects of Strange's spell and grant him the chance to get his friends and possibly even family back. Now, I don't know. Oh, he does say it. Okay, let's just keep going then. In that case, Peter, who's emotionally vulnerable following the events of No Way Home, is likely to quickly jump at the opportunity for the chance of a new life. That's interesting. A brand new day in a brand new timeline. Wow, what a cool deep cut. In the new version of the reality, Peter could have a new life and the reality he had always envisioned. Peter is in college with his friends, MJ and Ned Leeds. This would be an excellent way to reintroduce the co-stars of Jacob Batalon and Zendaya. This timeline reset could also allow previous characters displaced throughout the multiverse to return, such as Michael Keaton's Vulture, and bring back characters we lost along the way, such as Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. And who knows who else might show up if multiple universes are tied up into this new version of Earth. I think that's kind of a hint. From this point, the story could take place anywhere across New York, although the direction most fans are interested in seeing is Spider-Man walking into Hell's Kitchen. Following the brief interaction in No Way Home, fans have been wanting to see Charlie Cox and Matt Murdock together to the franchise Daredevil and interact with Tom Holland Spider-Man, with the idea being that they would team up to take down Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin. But how exactly could those storylines intertwine? So, this is crazy because there were actually reports from Daniel within the last couple of weeks that there's still a chance that Charlie Cox is in Spider-Man 4. Man, we really called it. We really called it with this new universe thing. Probably. Not confirmed yet. But yeah. The next time we see Matt Murdock's entry into the MCU will be March 2025 in his series Daredevil Born Again. In the show, we will see Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk focus on their own personal lives as they attempt to leave behind the lives they both knew as Daredevil and Kingpin. Murdock returns to his career as a lawyer with his law firm, while Wilson Fisk pursues his political endeavors as mayor of New York. They are set to adapt a crucial storyline in the comics known as Devil's Reign, where Fisk is elected to mayor and outlaws vigilantes in New York, making heroes like Daredevil, Punisher, and even Spider-Man public enemies number one. At the same time, as Fisk is forced to leave his former life as a mob boss behind to obtain his political status, this leaves a massive Kingpin-sized hole in the Marvel criminal underground, leaving large amounts of territory and power up for grabs, which no doubt would unleash an entire war in New York. It's also an excellent way to introduce new villains and reintroduce familiar faces as secondary villains from Spider-Man lore, such as Hammerhead, Tombstone, members of the Mad Guy, Aaron Davis's Prowler, Mark Gargan, and more. Now, you know what else this does? It says, fuck off, Sony. It basically would allow, I mean, guys, think about it like this. This is probably why Sony is so mad at Tom Holland and Kevin Feige right now. Allegedly, supposedly, reportedly. Because this allows them to take Vulture and say, I don't know what the fuck you were doing in Morbius and all that, but it doesn't matter because we're resetting our universe, and now the character from our movies is back in our movies. Do you see what I mean? I also do want to just say, too, I've made this point before, but like, this was one of the reasons why I first thought this could be the direction they were going to go in. This allows Marvel to set up the concept of a new universe before they even do their new universe. Meaning fans will see a new universe probably created by Doom. Okay. And, oh man, by the way, there's some really compelling stuff going on here, right? So like, consider this. What if my theory's right? Okay. And RDJ Iron Man was never really Tony. He was Doom. That was adopted. And what if Doom hates that shit? He hates that shit. So in this new universe, there was never a Tony. That guy's just Doom. Okay? And what if this new universe that Tom Holland occupies, what if everything about it's actually pretty great except for one thing? What's the one thing, chat? What's the one thing? And why is it so compelling? Anybody get it? Anybody get it? The Riz. It's the fact that there was no Iron Man. Yeah, exactly. So like, if you're Spider-Man and you know what's going on and you remake the world, boom, the Sacred Timeline is remade. No, he would have MJ. He would have everything he wanted, Aaliyah. In this hypothetical example, he would have everything he wanted, but there would have never been an Iron Man. And that might begin to sort of eat at him and be a potential catalyst for trying to restore the actual universe. I mean, I just think that's kind of interesting. I think that would be compelling. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going, though. With all that's at stake, Spider-Man and Daredevil would have to team up to face the oncoming gang war, which threatens the lives of people of New York in an attempt to change the court of public opinion on heroes and vigilantes, all while the looming shadow of Wilson Fisk oversees everything. With great power comes great responsibility. The one element that should be explored throughout the story of Peter's sense of guilt, which haunts him as the movies play out. Yes, he finally has the life that he's always wanted, but at what cost? His choice affected the lives of those around him, and that decision will gnaw at the back of his head as the story plays out. It echoes back to the main point that made him become the hero we all know and love. The phrase, with great power comes great responsibility, is one of Spider-Man fans know by heart. The most common interpretation of it refers to Peter choosing to be responsible with his powers as Spider-Man, which is what makes him the iconic hero he is. But in this sense, the great power isn't just his actual powers. A true great power is choice. Our choice have an incalculable ripple effect across not just our lives, but those around us. In Peter's case, his choice would have affected practically the lives of everyone in the known multiverse. The weight of that choice would weigh on him throughout the movie, ultimately realizing that he did not choose responsibly and must do the right thing by undoing it in Avengers Secret Wars. So basically, like, that's kind of what I was just talking about. I mean, it doesn't involve Doom, but it's a similar idea. It's compelling. So I understand it. Like, that could be cool. The issue with this potential multiverse story happening before Secret Wars, while many of these elements do sound intriguing and are something that many fans are interested in seeing, the current setting might make it extremely difficult for them to become a good story. Many fans are eager to see Peter and Matt interact, but doing a storyline like this now, especially in an alternate universe, might seem distasteful to some fans, to many fans, since it runs the risk of never becoming canon if Doom's sacred timeline is reversed. I think that's fair, but I think what they are trying to do is ease people into that, because that shit's happening either way with the soft reboot. A majority of this story will be all for null. What? Since none of the interactions we see in the movie would be preserved post-Secret Wars. This story is better fitted as if adapted across multiple films and evenly spaced out in different projects, like the second season of Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man 5, once the multiverse saga has ended. This leaves us with another alternative. A story set with a multiversal overtone and a tie-in to a recent Sony release that could bring Spider-Man face-to-face with an interaction fans have wanted to see for years. Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock, a.k.a. Venom. But that is a story for another day. Bro, I'll tell you right now what Alex is teasing. He's teasing that in Doom's universe, Tom Hardy will be Eddie Brock, but he might not be the Eddie Brock that we remember. He might be a new Eddie Brock with a more traditional comic book beef with Peter Parker. Yeah, Papa Roach incoming. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. So, wow, that's kind of an interesting article. I can't believe we started with this. I can't believe we're an hour, 15 minutes into the stream. We haven't touched one of my actual news topics here. Holy shit. Okay, what do you guys think, chat? What do you think? Let me catch up on some chats here. What do you think about all this shit, man? Is this shit crazy or what? Also, let me see what Twitch is saying so that they don't get mad at me. Hey, Randon Loomer, subscribe with Prime over on Twitch. By the way, congratulations. Randon got married over the weekend. Looked like a beautiful ceremony. Shout out to you, man. Hey, Comics Thing said, subscribed and says, thanks for all you do, Josh. Can we start a Daredevil series, a rewatch? Are we going to watch No Way Home Thursday? We will certainly consider both of those things, especially as we get closer to these other movies. Hell yeah. 180p at quality. Wait, what? Are you talking about this stream? You better refresh, brother. Peter feeling guilty of a world with no Tony is the exact same thing Tony had in Endgame. Tony's guilt and loss of Pete. Exactly, bro. Wow. What a childish dude. What a great parallel. I'm going to steal that for a theory video. Wow. That will definitely be a motivating factor for him to undo it, huh? Wow. Isn't that cool? It's a great call, man. That's a great call. You're welcome, says 27 Owls. What the fuck did you do? I'm welcome for what? You didn't do nothing, 27 Owls. Anyway. You're welcome. He learned nothing from No Way Home? What you mean? I don't even know what you mean, bro. But yeah, probably not. Probably didn't learn shit from No Way Home, to be honest. All right, let me catch up on some chats here. Then we're gonna talk about Nielsen charts. Oh man, I can't wait to talk about some charts. Y'all know about charts? By the way, Dan Merle did a 50-minute video about the charts for Venom 3. Should we watch that? Should we go hard on charts with Dan Merle? Joey Ebb says, oh, okay, yeah. Let's see here, CC Ryder. Purple Funk says, I think we'll see a parallel to Do You Concur scene in Infinity War between Doc Strange and RDJ, but with Doom in regards to collapsing the multiverse. Ooh, I like that too. That's a nice parallel, man. That would be cool. Thank you, Purple Funk. 34 months, man. Appreciate you. Dark Dragon X7 says, could the MCU's version of Battleworld be sort of similar to how the new Ultimates universe is structured? 100%. I think you are spot on the money on that. 100%, bro. And I think that's the plan. There's a synergy happening here, right? Watch Meg's Star Wars video later. Mike, what's the video about, man? Because I gotta be honest, you're saying it's about Star Wars. That makes me not want to watch it. Is there something else? Is there something else about it? Is there some good things happening? What's happening with that? I watch Dan Merle every week to get the box office news. Dude, I love Dan Merle. Hey, what do you guys think of Dan Merle hopping on stream a little bit? Dan said he would hop on stream if I stopped doing the Diamond Lounge, so. Chocolate Homunculi says, hey Josh, have you watched Dragon Ball Daima? If so, what are your thoughts? I love it, bro. I love Dragon Ball Daima. Also, wasn't there news that Torotaro, I believe, just did an update about the manga? Yeah, man. Yo, in all seriousness, chat, I want to have Dan on the some streams. What, Adam? That was fake? What was fake? What was fake? Don't tell me that Torotaro thing is fake. No. No. Yeah, Super Manga ain't coming back yet. Oh, so that was fake? Bro. You know, sir. Have Grace on? I would absolutely love to have Grace on. I don't know that she would do that, though. You know, I'm a little Raskillian. You know? Says Reddit anyway. Danny would have done a video if it was real. I guess that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. Well, never mind then. Get Grace for a diamond lounge? I don't think she drinks, actually. The Exodus says, any chance Peter does some harebrained shit trying to bring back Tony, and instead we get his doppelganger, Doctor Doom? Nah, brother. There's just no evidence that points to that, especially... Nah. Although, it's kind of a fun idea. But, like, imagine the Russo... bro, people would hate that shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the Russos are like, there's a compelling... you gotta watch the video I'm doing later today. You guys are making me talk about the video before you see the video. You gotta see the video. Once you see the video is a nice collection of all the little things that have said. And once you watch the video, you'll be like, oh, shit. Okay, so that's obviously what they gotta do. Blah, 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 bada bing, bada boom. But I appreciate the support. Thank you. That's way better than Peter just being a dumbass and repeating No Way Home. Oh my god. Parker Peter says, have some Bezos bucks. See y'all for Secret Wars unless they undo the spell that fast. Then I quit. Yeah, wait, what? God damn it, chat. You guys can't have all these ultimatums. I'm the one that has the ultimatums. You guys can't have the ultimatums as well. Okay, hey, we're way fucking behind here. Okay, so can we get into let's talk about this. Let's talk about Agatha. So what are we looking at here? Hey, chat, what are we looking at here? We're looking at the charts. Okay, this is a chart here for your programming for the week of September 23rd to September 29th. So this is your week 2 of Penguin and of Agatha. What the hell? Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal here. It's not good. So overall chart, neither one of them are on it. Also, look at this, dude. Fucking Inside Out 2 is just dominating on Disney Plus. Bob's Burgers dominating. Bob's Burgers is beating Bluey. Rings of Power, by the way, on the downtrend. Kind of interesting. Was holding stronger before. It had like 830, so it's actually on the downtrend. Family Guy, Garfield movie, Grey's Anatomy. What a wild world, man. What a wild world. And also, what the fuck is this? Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Mendes. I don't know what this is. But it's fucking crushing. You know, it's outdoing Inside Out 2, okay? So, you look over here on the originals chat here, and you've got Agatha slipping into 10th place, losing, I believe, 130 million minutes watched. It went down. Okay, so it's trending downward, at least into week 2. We look over here at acquired. This is where you would see Penguin, but it's nowhere to be found. So Penguin not on any chart. I'm just kind of curious. What are the movies? Inside Out 2 is dominating. Wow, look at how few people are actually watching movies other than the big ones. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so this is interesting. Now, I will point this out. Some of you guys brought this up to me, and I think it's worth mentioning. Agatha All Along, chat, episode 7 gets 4.2 million after just a day. Disney says that episode 7, which was directed by showrunner Jack Schaefer, drove 4.2 million views globally after just one day of streaming, up 35% from the premiere episode performance. Disney, like Netflix, defines views as total stream time divided by runtime. No data was made available for the previous episode's one-day performance. Instead, Disney did reveal the first episode managed to get about 9.3 views in 7 days. Okay, so to be fair to the show, this is about twice what Penguin's been reporting. So Penguin, you know, HBO's been reporting their own numbers for that. And they keep saying, like, I think it was like 1.6 1 week, then it's 1.7, then it's 1.8. Now it's all the way up to 1.9. Agatha episode 7 just shit all over those numbers, doubled them for week 7. But here's the reality. Brother, both of these shows are not doing well. Like, it might be the case, and we will have to wait and see. It could technically be the case that Agatha will chart more strongly towards the end, because that is pretty impressive viewership for episode 7, which, by the way, episode 7 is fantastic. So just like in Loki season 2, there was 35% lower viewership initially, but then there was a pop once there were some crazy episodes, and Loki season 2 did end up charting even on the originals chart, which is crazy. That's the first time that happened to a Marvel show in like ever. Okay, but that might happen for Agatha. Penguin, to be fair to the Penguin, could also see better numbers towards the end, because it does appear to be growing in viewership. Okay, we don't know for sure because it never charted. We can't really see if it grew from week 1 to week 2, but according to HBO, it has been, right? So Penguin could end up charting maybe by the end, and maybe Agatha could as well. But the bottom line here, guys, is that nobody's really watching these shows. And when I say that, what I really mean is, like, the genre pool is not there. The genre pool is not there. Right? So I think the more interesting thing to consider here, and I know there's people that really love Penguin, there's people that really love Agatha. Both shows are just not really performing that well. They also share something in common with Venom, which is kind of interesting. If you think about it, and we sort of talked about this a little last week, we're talking about a movie and 2 shows that has no hero and is actually using a villain as the protagonist of an IP that was made popular by the hero. Right? So Venom, it's Spider-Man. Duh. Penguin, it's Batman. Agatha, you could say it's Scarlet Witch, right? Scarlet Witch is potentially a hero, and I know there's like debate on that and everything. She was literally the villain of the last movie and kind of the villain of her own show. But the point kind of remains, right? Like, this is just not working. So I mean, the studios basically just have to decide, are they comfortable with this or not? I would say there's probably all kind of factors that go into that. Penguin could have a legitimate chance at some awards, which would maybe, you know, give it a little bit more views, a pop maybe down the road or whatever. But the bottom line is, like, none of these shows are succeeding in the way you would want them to when you create within that genre. So maybe if Batman was in Penguin, or even just like other villains or something, like, that show would be way more popular. Let me ask you guys in chat, do you think the Penguin show would get more views if Batman was in it? Like, yes or no? Do you think it would get more views? Right. It's obvious. It's obvious, right? Do you think that Agatha would get more views if the Scarlet Witch was in it? Hey, Trev, I hear your question. I'm just ignoring it. So you can keep putting it in chat if you'd want, but I'm ignoring it. I want you to just know for sure I'm ignoring it. I'm not missing it. I see it and I'm ignoring it. Okay. Yeah, so, like, what we're talking about here is it's obvious that both shows would perform better if they had the hero. So the studios, do you know what it really is? Can I just say it to you like this, and maybe this will really resonate with you? They want to have their cake and eat it too. This is literally the studios being like, can we save the really good shit for something else, and can we still get views off of the interest in this thing without the thing? They want to have their cake and eat it too. And the main question that I think they're facing, and it just kind of seems like the audience is not down, is like, is that a sustainable future? And I don't really think so. I think they need the juice. Okay, now let's talk about Venom a little bit. Because Venom is in the same boat. However, what's interesting about Venom is like, it actually outperformed expectations. Not domestically, but overall. This is so freaking weird. This headline here says, Venom the Last Dance swings to 175 global opening with monster assist from overseas international box office. Holy shit. So check this out. This will bottle the mind. Sunday update. Sony's Venom the Last Dance came in with 175 million global weekend, which is slightly lower than where we saw it yesterday, but is still well ahead of the pre-week projections, which, while the domestic misstepped, landing at 51 million, overseas overperformed at 124 million from 64 markets, and led by a powerful debut in China. The franchise has now reached 1.5 billion worldwide. Overall, overseas, this is the third biggest opening of the year for a Hollywood title in like markets, behind Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. Bro, fucking Venom the Last Dance is in the same sentence as Inside Out 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine. Guys, what the hell? This is a hard one to call. Okay, so let's keep going here. China, which gobbled up the first film in the trilogy, but did not get a release for the second one. Venom, Let There Be Carnage, led all markets on The Last Dance with a surprising 46 million over 5 days. Though not apples to apples, given that this one had a 5-day start and is the biggest superhero movie opening since 2019 Spider-Man Far From Home, and is the biggest Hollywood opening of the year. The top launch markets behind China are Mexico, Korea, the UK, India, Germany, Italy, Australia, Spain, and Indonesia. Guys, it literally still has to hit in France and Japan. In worldwide IMAX, The Last Dance tangoed to 16 million, the third best global release ever for the format in the month of October. Shot on IMAX, certified digital cameras, the trilogy finale took in 11.2 overseas, and it made the biggest offshore opening for IMAX in October. The third best for Sony, behind two of the most recent Spider-Man titles. In China, the total was 6 million with IMAX, 14% of its 5-day gross. So that's insane. Okay? So, Venom, The Last Dance. By the way, we teased this possibility a little bit late in the week last week, right? I told you guys, I was like, dude, the domestic numbers are looking real bad. However, these overseas numbers are insane. So, remember, I think it was C-Dub that made the point that these are the Fast and the Furious movies of the comic book films. I mean, that's bearing out in these numbers for sure, because it's a very similar story to the Fantastic, why am I blanking? Fast and the Furious. The Fast and the Furious. Those movies do crazy business overseas, not super well domestically. Okay? So, what does this mean? Well, it's frankly enough that it doesn't kill the character or the franchise. And I would love to know what you think about that, because I personally think a lot of you, when you hear that, are going to be dead ass like, no, like you're very mad about it. By the way, if you are mad about it, throw a 1 into the chat. I would love to know, like, how many of you out there are actually furious that this movie is even this successful. Please let me know in the chat. And look, I get where you're coming from, because I bet a lot, oh my God, Trev, okay. I bet a lot of you guys saw this movie, or maybe you even heard about this movie, right? And you're like, fuck that, fuck Venom, fuck Sony. I'm over it. And then this story comes out and you're like, God damn it. Tom Rothman and Avi Arad are going to make fucking bullshit Venom / Spider-Man, Spider-Less Man movies for the rest of time. And frankly, you might be right. Like, this is enough success, especially internationally, because this is so unique. It's so funny how these things work out sometimes, right? The craziness of it all. Right now, Marvel is like this with China. Okay? Like, Bob Iger, to his credit, upon retaining his role as CEO, he was able to get a lot of Marvel movies back in China, but none of them have actually opened up in the way that they used to. Now, in general, the Chinese box office is diminished, and in general, the Chinese box office is less friendly to Hollywood movies as compared to what it was, pre-pandemic, pre-2020, right? But these numbers from Venom, if I'm in a meeting with Marvel Studios and I'm somebody from Sony, I'm bringing these international numbers up over and over again. In fact, I would say, frankly, right to Bob Iger's face, maybe to Kevin Feige's face, you guys need more Chinese love. You literally need exactly what we have. People love Tom Hardy's Venom. We have exactly what you need. The insane part is they're not wrong. I don't know how we arrived at this exactly. It feels almost like one of those simulation level jokes, but they're not wrong. They now have not only proof of concept for the fucking Venom movies. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe I'm saying it. It's kind of funny. Okay. Not only do they have proof of concept that the Venom movies work, but they have the exact thing that Marvel wants. Oh my goodness, man. What a crazy conundrum. And then the other thing that's really interesting about this is what now happens with Kraven? Is Kraven also going to be a smash hit in the international box office? Do these numbers make it more likely that domestic audiences will give Venom a chance next week? What's the numbers going to look like next week? Because remember that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 underperformed its first week, and then it had like one of the best drop-offs, meaning like a lack of drop-off into week 2, and it continued to have legs for a long time. Guardians of the Galaxy, I think there's a possibility that Venom has that same kind of a trajectory. And wouldn't that be fascinating? Now, of course, the opposite could happen. Venom could fall off a cliff next week, but it has big markets yet to open with internationally. Depends on what the drop-off is for those other markets. And wonder, what will the domestic box office be? Because, it's kind of funny. I think there is a calculus sometimes with audiences that's like, number one, how fast do we think this is coming to streaming? And if the worse a movie does, the faster it comes to streaming. And I think Venom will have pretty good success on streaming. I think the what I'm kind of trying to say here is this is obviously not Joker or The Flash. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's not Joker or The Flash. Like, this thing will do numbers on digital. I don't know exactly how much, but it's not going to be rejected completely. Right? So, I don't know, guys. I know a lot of you were ready to write Venom off. Frankly, I was. I did a whole whiteboard stream, which is technically still there, because I thought Venom would probably bomb to such a degree that it would be over. We'd have to come out here today and maybe reaffirm next Monday. We'd have to say it's Jover for Venom. And that's not the case. Saved by the international box office. And now I'm really curious as to what will be the drop-off next week. If you were a person out there that maybe didn't love these movies, maybe you hate these movies, but you still kind of like Tom Hardy, I think you could probably take solace in the fact that regardless of what happens with the Venom trilogy, with Spider-Man 4, regardless of what happens, Tom Hardy now has a lot of evidence that he has massive international appeal. Right? And that's good for him. Like, I'm happy for him. I like Tom Hardy. I'm sure Hardy is a nice dude, but his body of work sucks. I say the same thing about Kathleen Kennedy, and everybody calls me toxic, Adam. Can you believe it? And I usually say it just like you did. You know, there's not a lot of hyperbole, not a lot of like flagrant, toxicity and stuff like that. I usually just point it out in like that exact, like super benign way. And everybody gets all mad at me. I don't understand. Yeah, that UFC one is great. What's it called? Warriors? I like Tom Hardy, man. I like Bane. I like the Bronson movie. He was great in that movie with Shia LaBeouf where he's like the gangster. What else? Yeah. Bro, you did make a song. I didn't make that song. That song was made out of clips. All I did was sing a little bit on stream. Oh, he's great in Inception, Carl Jr. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fine, whatever, chat. Not dying on this hill. Oh, okay. Well, probably a smart move. Hardy is in that movie with Chris Pine and Reese Witherspoon. What? I don't know what that is, bro. I don't know what that one is. This Means War? Stop it, Spider-Man Noir. Okay, let's talk about Spider-Man Noir. Should we talk about Spider-Man Noir? Oh my freaking goodness, chat. Oh my freaking goodness. Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir. Which it might actually just be called Spider Noir now because it is still Sony. Okay. Let's take a peek. Wait, what the hell? Let's take a peek at this, man. Let's take a peek. We have actual set photos for Spider-Man Noir with Nick Cage. We're going to look at a couple of different things. Here, but just look at this, guys. First impression of the costume. First impression of the costume. What do you think of this, chat? What do you think? Oh, man. Oh, man. Banger inbound indeed. I mean, frankly, I think it looks so good. Love the mask. Love the freaking goggles, which you would think like, okay, that's probably pretty easy to just nail the goggle look. I don't think so. I think they actually probably went through a lot of different designs on this just to get it looking perfect. It kind of strikes me as having Sin City vibes immediately. Like, I can immediately see, like, some hyper stylized, stark black and white colorations, and this in it as well, man. I could see an overcranked camera as rain pours down, hitting the leather of his cap and dripping off as he looks into the night and says some cold-ass shit. Oh, my God, I love it. Here's another look here. You get the actual vest. Looks like he's got some kind of a utility belt of some kind there. very similar to what you saw in the comics, right? And in the animated movie. Now, this is from an action sequence. And one of the things that I thought was so cool within this action sequence, I mean, the style it's really, really cool. Just the general aesthetic. But there's a moment in the shots here where he actually, like, makes the web, like, symbol. And he, like, webs off of one of these cars. So we're talking about, like, car chases and shit. And he's actually, like, using his webbing to get out of here. So the thing that's cool about this is I've been kind of trying to hype this up for a while. But unfortunately, nothing has really, like, caught traction. I would say these set photos, like, I know some people don't love set photos, right? You know, famously, Ryan Reynolds was pretty upset that Deadpool was getting spoiled a little bit via set photographs. However, I don't think you can deny that these set photos here have created so much more hype for the actual show, okay? Now, I want to take this opportunity to actually go through some of the news that is already out there, which we've touched on a little bit here and there, but now with the context of these set photos and with the interest kind of being drummed up a bit more, let's actually look at this, okay? So this is from July. Spider-Man Noir series at Amazon MGM Plus casts Brendan Gleeson. This friggin' guy here, okay? Super prolific actor. He has joined the cast of the upcoming Spider-Man Noir series at Amazon. Variety has learned from sources. Remember, too, that this is going to be an Amazon show. Although it is Sony, it's an Amazon show. So it's getting the budget of, like, The Boys. Now, technically, I think there was a fight about this budget, which may or may not have actually ended the contracts of Lord and Miller with Sony. But they are, like, hell-bent on getting as much money as possible for this show because they really think it could be like The Boys level of a success, okay? So this marks one of Gleason's first announced projects since his Academy Award and Golden Globe nominated turn in The Banshees of Inisherin. I don't know how to say it. Gleason will star in the series opposite the announced series Nicolas Cage. This casting choice here, I've seen this guy in other things, too. I don't fully remember. It was formally ordered as a series in May with Cage as the role. Yeah, it's just called Spider Noir now. Okay. The show will debut domestically on MGM Plus's linear channel and then globally on Amazon Prime Video. I really wonder how they're going to work that. I would imagine they just want it to come out on Prime. But we'll see. Per the log line of the show, this is essentially what the show is about, or as you enter the story, what the world will be. It tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator, Cage, in the 1930s New York, who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. So, he is an aging, down on his luck private investigator in 1930s New York, and he's forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. That's pretty compelling. That is pretty interesting to me. Okay. In addition, or rather, check this out. Exact details on Gleason's role are being kept under wraps, but will reportedly play the show's villain. Now, Daniel just reported that this show is going to be massive and that Spider-Man fights Sandman in the first episode. So this guy, Gleason, could be playing Sandman, or they're doing a ton of villains, and Sandman is just one of the villains that they're going to do for the show. Okay? That's pretty freaking interesting. Okay. They go on to talk a little bit more about him and his rep. Spider Noir hails from Oren Uzel and Steve Lightfoot, who will also serve as co-showrunners and executive producers. They developed this series with the Into the Spider-Verse team of Phil Lord and Christopher Millet and Amy Pascal, all of whom will also executively produce. Harry Bradier will executive produce and direct the first 2 episodes. Pascal executive produces via Pascal Pictures. The series is produced by Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM Studios, with Lord & Miller currently under an overall deal at Sony. Now, that deal might actually been broken because of a fight about this show. All right? Spider-Noir was the second show announced under a partnership between Amazon and Sony to develop projects around Marvel characters associated with the Spider-Man that Sony controls. The first was Silk, Spider Society, which was originally greenlit in 2022, but it didn't move forward. Remember, there was a moment where they fired everybody but the showrunner. They said, this has to now be male skewed, and then it didn't work, and they tossed it out. Okay, now, something that's pretty freaking cool is that this guy here, Orrin Uziel, is actually the showrunner of the Punisher show from Netflix. Okay. And the writer, I mean, that writer's kind of hot right now, but he hasn't done anything that's like super crazy. He wrote that's Orrin Uziel. The series was he's the writer. Sorry, Steve Lightfoot is the guy that showrun the Punisher. So Uziel is kind of like hot right now, but he wrote like the Mortal Kombat movies. He wrote the Cloverfield Paradox. He wrote Escape Room. He wrote The Lost City. He's working on a couple of things right now. Like he just got tapped to do like a Ryan Reynolds thing. But unfortunately he has some bad credits too, like on Borderlands and shit like that. Okay, so let's recap this, and let's try to just explain again why I think this is so damn cool. So, in a world of your Agathas, in a world of your Penguin show, and in a world of Venom, which we just talked about, all share in not having the actual hero that first popularized that like franchise and IP. With Venom, there's obviously no Spider-Man. With Agatha, there's no Wanda. And with the Penguin, there is no Batman. The one resounding difference between this show and basically everything else live action that Sony is creating is that it stars fucking Spider-Man. Okay? On top of that, and I think this is actually pretty important. On top of that, do you know what this show has that none of those other 2 shows really have? Star power. Star power. I would actually argue that Kathryn Hahn has a higher profile than even Colin Farrell. I know that might seem crazy, but it's actually true. And even Kathryn Hahn, her movie profile is kind of more indie. She has a lot of like indie shows, indie movies. She's never been super mass appeal. She's not like a big movie star. She doesn't like put butts in seats for big movies. Neither does Colin Farrell. Yeah, these shows lack serious star power. Okay? But Nicolas Cage is maybe one of the biggest movie stars of the last 50 years. I want to find this clip for you because I think it's really funny. Who is Nick Cage? Oh, wait. This is from the movie The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is actually like Nick Cage stars himself, but this is like a perfect scene to explain who and why it's such a big deal.
You're Nick fucking whoa, Cage!
So it's Nick fucking Cage, okay? It's Nick fucking Cage, ladies and gentlemen. That is a massive deal. That is a massive deal. So let's go through it again. Let's go through it again. So you've got actual Spider-Man. Now, to be clear, this isn't actually Peter Parker. Reportedly, it's actually Ben Reilly, which is weird. Maybe that's being done because they continue to be allergic to doing Peter Parker. Why? What the fuck? Why can't you do Peter Parker? So stupid. But maybe there's something else to it because Ben Reilly is a clone of Peter Parker. But either way, this guy's fucking Spider-Noir, okay? He's Spider-Noir or Spider-Man Noir or whatever, right? It's fucking Spider-Man. Albeit a multiversal version of Spider-Man, this is still Spider-Man. First problem that a lot of the bullshit we're talking about these days, it addresses that. Number two, it has actual star power. It's Nick fucking Cage, guys. It's Nick fucking Cage. This is crazy. Your grandpas, your uncles, your aunts, your distant cousins. You're a friend of a friend that's kind of shady and always asks you to borrow money. All of those people know who Nick Cage is. All of those people, when you tell them there's a new Spider-Man show starring Nick Cage, they will be interested. At least damn sure more interested than a Batman show without Batman, an Agatha spinoff show without Agatha, and a goddamn Spider-Man spinoff show series trilogy Venom with no fucking Spider-Man. What the fuck are we doing? So immediately, the show already has stuff that other shows don't have. But there's more to it than even that. There's more to it than even that. It has actual talent. You've got Lord and Miller creating the show with the Punisher showrunner? Holy shit. That's fucking incredible. You have Amy Pascal in this thing. And Amy has been, although she is technically a producer on a lot of the Venom stuff and all that, what she's been doing outside of Sony with Kevin Feige has been super impressive. The Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are goated, right? So you've got all of that plus a big budget because it's Amazon and MGM and technically Sony, right? But like that's just crazy. This show has the entire recipe, and now we get an actual look at it, and it looks fantastic. The suit looks fantastic. The action looks cool. We've already seen photos of Nick Cage in his just PI outfit, right? You've got high-profile actors. You're doing Spider-Man villains fighting against Spider-Man. Guys, this is like a dream come true. And in a world where Sony's going to Sony, we might actually have something really cool technically coming out from Sony. So I'm very excited for this show. When I saw those set photos and the set video of him on top of the car, and by the way, that's probably not Nick Cage doing the actual stunts, right? It's probably shouldn't be Nick Cage. We don't want to do that. He's an older guy at this point. But the fact that we have all of that going on and he's webbing out of like a car chase scene in 1930s New York, I mean, it's mind-blowing. And so I continue to say what I said. This show will be bigger than The Boys. This might be the biggest comic book live action show potentially ever. Now, some of you guys are like, okay, you just took it too far. You know, I was with you, Josh. You know, you were riding high on the show. I get it. You did list a lot of interesting elements, but the biggest comic book show ever? That's crazy. Is it? What is the biggest comic book show ever thus far? Bigger than The Flash? Yeah, I think so. That's D&D level? Rebel Moon Part 2? It's really hard to say, right? I would say maybe Netflix Daredevil. Maybe The Boys. I mean, The Boys has a legitimate argument for being the biggest comic book show of all time. Could it be Loki? I mean, it's not any Disney Plus show maybe other than Loki. And I don't think it's Loki. Green Arrow? Maybe. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? So now we live in a world where we're going to see the Nielsen charts for this thing, which, by the way, if they drop it on MGM Plus or whatever and then drop it on Amazon, we're totally fucked, and this will not happen. The numbers will be completely askew. The charting will be all over the place, and it will probably kill the point that I'm trying to make. But let's say they get it on Amazon, and that's when it releases. Like, boom, it's just on Amazon. I mean, that in and of itself probably propels it way past shows like Penguin, right? Although, you know, Trev was asking earlier, and it's a fair point. I just wanted to ignore it. I just didn't feel like talking about it, right? But like, you look at Disney Plus's subscribers versus Max's subscribers. I think that's fair. However, House of the Dragon still dominates. It's on that platform. It's on Sundays. House of the Dragon dominates. It charts on Nielsen. So it's not like it's impossible. But it is true that any show that comes out on a bigger platform has an advantage. Amazon Prime is, if not as big as Disney Plus, it's right behind them. In fact, Amazon Prime Video might be bigger than Disney Plus. I'm not 100%. Somebody check that out in chat, right? He won't acknowledge The Walking Dead. No, that's totally fair. The Walking Dead could be considered the biggest, maybe not the greatest, but the biggest comic book show of all time. Especially in those first, 6 seasons. Yeah, no, for sure. Walking Dead is huge. Walking Dead is huge. Fallout dominated. Rings of Power overall chart. Prime series can do well on Nielsen. Yeah, 100%. 100%. So, guys, we're looking at the recipe for a big hit here. And it seems like it could be the big hit we need at the right time. Because Sony's I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, right? We want to say they're flailing, but then you look at the overseas numbers for Venom and it's well, technically they're right enough, right, to potentially continue doing that goobly glob, but they're not lighting the world on fire. It's not a hit in the same way that House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, The Boys, which I think are probably the 3 biggest shows that are currently coming out. Maybe you could put Rings of Power in that conversation as well. Those shows are just dominating, and I think there's also just a much higher quality. It's just a much higher quality product than a lot of the superhero shows. I think Daredevil Born Again has a chance to do really, really well, partially because of the older series, Disney Plus's numbers, the appeal of the character, hour-long shows. They did a whole creative overhaul of that thing, right? So it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I really do think that this Noir show has a really high chance to be something really, really special. And I think that, these set photos coming out is the first time ever that any of you guys are even willing to consider that. Right? Because if you remember, I was kind of saying this even before we saw anything. I just heard it was Nick Cage, and got pretty excited for it.
You're Nick fucking. Whoa, Cage!
Oh, it's amazing. Oh, it's amazing. So, yeah, chat. That's your updates on Spider-Man Noir. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Thanks, Josh. So freaking excited. Me too, brother. Me too, brother. And if this thing comes out at a decent time, we're going to do watch parties for this. Maybe even Twitch watch parties so we can actually watch it all together. Woo. Miller is behind it, and that's all I need to know. Miller's the only one that should talk at Sony Marvel meetings. Yeah, I kind of agree. This isn't going to do much. There might be an interesting start, but it will drop off fast. What? E2, Dark Angel? E2. I hope it's black and white like Sin City. That would be pretty cool for sure. No Marvel DC show will ever get close to Game of Thrones numbers. Why do you think that? Why do you think that, bruh? We need a Sin City remake? Why do we need that? The Sin City movie's perfect. Comic book shows have always been mid. There's been a lot of them that are mid, yeah. Less cross fan appeal. Less cross fan appeal. I don't know. I don't know if I agree. I think that superhero shows, like, I think the genre has kind of garnered a bad rep over the past couple of years. So, like, it almost has something kind of working against it, right? But The Boys is in that conversation. Like, I think The Boys is bigger than any comic book show, and its numbers are relatively close to House of the Dragon, at least in the most recent season. Yeah, so like we looked this up the other day, and the last season of The Boys, which I think is so ironic because I thought the last season was the weakest season, but it was putting up like, what was it, 10, 14 mil? Adam, you just sent me a link to this last week. I think it was like 10, 14 mil for the finale. It's up there, man. It's like doing... It's doing some big numbers. The Boys. Tim O'Brien says, Josh, that Nicolas Cage clip sounds like you on stream sometimes. Sony gonna Sony. Andor is boring. Josh killing it. Nerd Vengers for life. Revengers for life. Noir Vengers for life. Noir Unity. Damn. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate you. Also, I appreciate the gifted memberships today, man. Thank you. Deadline. The Boys. Season 4 finale week takes first. Oh, yeah. So it took Nielsen's Boys in Season 4, once again scrolling over 1 billion minutes viewed, setting a few Nielsen streaming records for Prime Video. The series racked up more than 1.3 billion minutes viewed for July 15th to 21st, marking its highest weekly total and putting it at the #1 among streaming titles for the interval. The first time it's taken the overall #1 spot and achieved a 1 billion minute milestone. And it made it into the top 10 every single week since season 4. Wow. That's pretty crazy. House of the Dragon was dethroned this week. But still managed over 1 billion minutes and only fell 1 spot to second place. According to Nielsen, the highest views contribution came from 35 to 49-year-olds. So like it's in the realm. It debunked or dethroned House of the Dragon last season. Now, partially, I thought House of the Dragon season 2 was kind of a letdown. We didn't fully know this while we were watching it. There were some slow weeks, and I remember I was complaining a little bit. And some of you guys were like, no, like, let it chill, like, let it go. I think now in hindsight, we look at season 2 and we're like, nah, probably not good enough, you know? So maybe that had something to do with it, you know? Like, season 2, House of the Dragon kind of falls a little bit. And then you have a rising tide, right? On all of that, so... Pretty interesting. Hollywood Reporter. The Boys season 4 had 55 million worldwide viewers. Amazon claims. That's pretty good. That's crazy. 55. But Amazon did not specify, however, is with a 55 represents reach. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's wild. The Boys also has massive international appeal. Kind of like Venom. Crazy. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Ray. I'm sure you guys will love doing that. And then we could, if you want to, we could do some Superman spoilers. I don't know how you guys are feeling about that. Aren't Arrow and Flash still the most watched superhero shows? I've never heard that, bro. I've never heard that. Like, I know they had, did I miss some soupies? All right, let me catch up on some soupies and then we'll get back to it. Grant Van Nostrand says, yo, what's up, Josh? Happy Monday. One more month for my first Diamond Lounge. Can't wait. How do I check/use Nerdcoin? Sorry, I'm newish to this. You should be able to check it in chat with a command. And we did have a website at one time where you could check that too. And then as far as the Diamond Lounge, we definitely didn't cancel the Diamond Lounge earlier in this stream. We certainly did not almost get rid of them entirely and everybody rioted. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And we're going to have a Diamond Lounge this Friday. Can't wait to have more with you guys too. Kaylin says, damn, if Craven does well, Sony gonna Sony again. Venom 4 will be in production. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's kind of a shame, but Venom doing well overseas could lead to Noel fighting the Sinister fucking Six. Okay, I get it. Everybody loves the Diamond Lounge. Holy shit. Verse says, yo, Josh, please spread the word about 12 Gauge Comics Kickstarter held in honor of legendary comic artist Jason Pearson, who died in 2022. Thanks. I don't know much about it. I will look into it, though. I will look into it. Okay, you know what else we're going to look into? Rey Skywalker. Hey, guys. Guys. Do you remember that feeling you had? Do you remember that feeling you had when you were in the movie theaters? And that old crusty ass lady on Tatooine said, Ray who for the first time? Do you guys remember that feeling? And then she was like, Rey Skywalker. Yeah. Okay. So last Friday, we had discussed a report about Steve Knight leaving the Rey movie. Now, I handled that really well, as I always do. And we definitely didn't get so fucking toxic that I thought about deleting the stream afterwards on Friday. Except that we did. Because I have a lot of trouble when it comes to Star Wars news, because I'm triggered by it, okay? I have trauma, okay? And that's because of Kathleen Kennedy taking a shit in my cereal, aka destroying a brand that I absolutely love. However, I want to try to be fair to the Lucasfilm company. I want to try to be fair to fans that are actually looking for updates beyond me just yelling and screaming about Kathleen Kennedy. And I'd like to tell you that it might be way worse than we can imagine. So, Daisy Ridley teases potential Star Wars movie series? Daisy recently hinted at an intriguing development for her character Rey in the Star Wars universe. In a chat with The Hollywood Reporter, Ridley expressed both excitement and nerves about reprising her role as Rey, a character last seen in the 2019 film The Rise of Skywalker. She mentioned how returning to this character after a significant and personal and professional evolution can be both scary and interesting. Ridley's comments suggest that the Star Wars New Jedi Order might be the start of a movie series. Although the project currently lacks an official title, it is under development, with Sharmeen Obed should not be doing this movie directing, and has had Steve Knight as its former writer. In addition to Ridley's reflections on her return, she casually remarked about a new one/new ones, implying the possibility of more than just a single movie featuring Rey. This speculative series could explore new chapters as direct sequels to the original saga, potentially aligning as episode 9 through 12. The speculation around Ridley's comments is heightened by her previous allusions to the evolving nature of this project, even as the screenwriter had exited. Those hints point at a broader expansion of Rey's story, which could position 3 films as direct continuations of the core trilogy. Unlike standalone stories like Rogue One and Solo, while Ridley's statement could be interpreted as a reference to various Star Wars projects in development, including Jon Favreau's involvement in a movie and several Disney Plus series, the prospect of a new series centered around Rey's journey offers an exciting direction for the Star Wars narrative. Have something to add? Let us know in the comments sections below. Oh, sorry. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, okay, so this might be real. Now, originally, let's do this. Let's do this and let's do it right, and let's be fair to everybody involved, and let's try to chill. When this movie was kind of first announced, which would be around, I think, 2021, 2022, when Snyder first started breaking stories about this, Kathy had kind of been out there already talking about not wanting to do a trilogy. She made some weird comments about trilogy and the trilogy format, etc., etc. Now, when this movie was first conceived, it was conceived as one film. It was never conceived as episode 10. Okay? However, as we know, and as we pointed out last week, the production of this movie has been all over the place. Lindelof had a vision with Britt Gibson. It was one thing with like a 70-year-old Rey. Late in her life, this turn happens. Seems like it could have been interesting. While that's going on, Kathleen Kennedy's also hiring Sharmeen Obed-Chinoy to give it a very female-centric, female empowerment angle. Daisy Ridley is quietly approached, unbeknownst to anybody, and is offered to come back to the role. Is announced at Star Wars Celebration, brought out with Sharmeen Obed-Chinoy a couple of weeks after firing Lindelof and Brett Gibson and hiring Steve Knight to do a new draft. So the movie's been changing quite a bit, okay? There was a report, and I think this had to do with like Production Weekly or some kind of basically when the movie went into a more actual level of production, it was actually titled episode 10. Do you remember this? Let me see if I can even find the article here. Rey movie episode 10. February. Rey movie being titled episode 10, A New Beginning, is considered to be false. Working title. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. This is an article on the Cosmic Circus. Okay, so let's look at this. They might have changed this article too, but hopefully not. There's been a lot of speculation about the name of the upcoming Rey-focused Star Wars film. Many outlets continue to refer to it as I did in the first sentence. However, others have called it New Jedi Order or even A New Beginning. Looking around in preparation of this report, there seemed to be no consensus about the film or the name of the film, which Star Wars News spoke on. In their article, they said that the name hasn't officially been decided on, but a Reddit post linked the name as Star Wars A New Beginning. According to our own sources, we can confirm A New Beginning is indeed the name of the film. More specifically, our sources stated the film is Star Wars Episode 10, A New Beginning. Editor's note. StarWars.com contributor Jordan Mason has stated on his X account that the info from Lucasfilm directly has said the title Episode 10, A New Beginning is categorically incorrect, and that while the working title is New Jedi Order as reported, they're denying that title as well. So if we've learned anything, it's that the Cosmic Circus has some pretty good sources. You know, nobody's ironclad, nobody has 100%. But that happened in February of this year. So I remember when that happened, and there were a lot of people trying to push back on that. A lot of people confused as to what that could possibly mean. Are you with me? Are you holding my hand? Do you understand where we're going with this shit? So it seems like the movie likely evolved into potentially being a trilogy. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. On the one hand, I always thought doing just a spin-off movie was ridiculous. And I would imagine that Dave Filoni would feel the same way. I don't know for sure, but I would just imagine so. Because Star Wars is episodic. And the trilogies has kind of been inherent to the whole Star Wars thing. Okay? So I would imagine that Dave wanted it to actually be a trilogy. And again, I did think the original concept floated out by Kathy was stupid. Okay? On top of that, this movie seems to be evolving, as Daisy Ridley was saying. And it seems like the loss of Steve Knight will certainly delay the movie, but in spite of what many of us might want to happen, which I think would be delayed indefinitely or a cancellation of this movie, despite that being what we want to happen, I think that if you're just strictly looking at the news, this movie is still going to happen. They're delaying it because they want to get the script right and maybe get a really good writer on the script. Okay. So all of a sudden, I mean, what this just seems like par for the course, right? This is just another Lucasfilm out of touch, so goddamn ridiculous kind of a move, but it really does seem par for the course. So the whole internet right now, guys, at least a lot of the internet, thinks that this movie's being delayed indefinitely and might be canceled. And yet, I think we might be getting a whole goddamn Rey trilogy. You know how John Boyega was out there talking to Star Wars fans for the first time in a long time? Y'all seen this? Y'all seen this? Well, from what I understood, John Boyega was like a super hard no. But let me ask you a question. What could take somebody that's a super hard no to a okay? Anybody have any thoughts? Money. Right. But how would you be guaranteed a lot of money, right? A trilogy. So look, man, it's really hard for me to talk about Star Wars. It's really hard for me to even appear remotely unbiased or professional when it comes to Star Wars. The best I can do, just as the pundit, as the reporter, as the person that's reading the tea leaves here, as the person that is bringing you bad news, and he hopes he's wrong, but in his heart of heart, he does not think that he is wrong. There's too much evidence to suggest that, I mean, you're getting a Rey trilogy, guys. You're getting another Rey trilogy. So Luke Skywalker got a trilogy. Anakin Skywalker got a trilogy. Rey gets 2. So, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything to let out. Like, look, I am more calm, okay? But that's because, like, look, on Friday, it was like more evidence of Kathy being stupid. When are we going to wake up? She's so bad. And that had me really upset. But right now, it's actually not that. I have like a feeling of like kind of apathy, and I'm kind of like shocked, and I almost can't believe it. It's like this is a sad reaction. I'm not angry. I'm like sad and confused. Okay? Now, does this mean, chat, that Kathleen Kennedy, because I thought she was just going to fart in the room before she left, right? And that fart in the room was going to be a Charmin Obed Chinoy directed Rey movie. And it would stink, and it would be rotten, and Kathy would laugh and sail off into the sunset. Okay? But now it kind of feels like she took a shit. A 3-movie-long shit. And I don't know how to feel. Now, to be fair, let's put a little copium. Let's put a little copium on top of this, okay? I will say, and this is not an ass pull. This, I actually believe this. This technically makes the possibility of them fixing the Rey character, it makes it higher. It makes it higher. A trilogy, if done correctly, offers you the space, the breadth, and the beats to actually do what would be needed to fix Rey. Okay? It also would give us, as opposed to what one movie would give us, which is like, okay, here's that one movie and we're done. There is technically the possibility here that whatever happens in the first movie is so interesting that we begin to craft theories, like a Star Wars theory, about what would happen in the second and the third movie. Okay? Which, by the way, is super important to Star Wars. I mean, that helps a lot. Like, that episodic nature kind of carries the interest through. So, there's a lot of reasons why a trilogy is better than one movie. But the problem is Like, here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to say. If they drop Charmin, I will instantly become more supportive of this movie and trilogy. Okay? Nothing personal against her, but it's such a wild idea, and I think like it's totally fair if you just look at Agatha. Well, actually, Agatha's doing okay, but you look at Acolyte, you look at Madam Web, like you just look at this stuff that's been happening with like aggressive, female-centric, almost being antagonistic of the male audience, like, you know, She-Hulk, all these different shows. You would think Hollywood would wake up and be like, yeah, that shit ain't working. Okay? Of course, Kathleen Kennedy, like, appears to live in a completely different ethereal world of which she cannot grasp simple concepts that are here in the physical world. Right? Like she's in some kind of weird fever dream and ignoring all semblance of reality. But if they were to remove Charmin Obi-Chinoy from this movie and then convince me that they were crafting a trilogy of Star Wars movies of which Rey just happened to be a character in and had a story in, I'd feel a lot better than like, oh, it's more Kathleen Kennedy South Park shit. She literally got an activist to direct this movie. Right? So by delaying the movie, there's technically a chance that like cooler heads would prevail, and maybe like your Bob Iger, maybe your Jon Favreau, maybe your Dave Filoni. Somebody needs to get in there. Maybe Kevin Feige. Somebody needs to get in there and be like, you cannot allow this woman to direct this movie. And if that happens, I will begin to be a little bit more intrigued in what this could be. Okay? But for now, let us remember once again. Do not forget that if this happens, your boy tried to warn you. Your boy tried to show you the evidence of this happening. Your boy tried to highlight, despite everything in him wanting to ignore it, that we might be getting a goddamn Rey trilogy. So holy shit, Sony gonna Sony, Lucasfilm gonna Lucasfilm. Oh my. And also, too, if they do get rid of Charmin, we have Acolyte to thank in a real sense. So go out, find an Acolyte fan, man. Shouldn't be hard. They're all chronically online. So go out and find an Acolyte fan and say, you know what? I will say something positive about Acolyte. And they'll probably be like, what would that be? And then you tell them, I'd like to thank the Acolyte for finally convincing Lucasfilm to fire the activist director of the new Rey movie. Woo! Let's go! Can you fucking believe it, guys? Like, can you believe this is real? By the way, somebody needs to tell Theory about this. I'll hit him up, but you guys need to hit him up. There's nothing saying that they're doing that, so no. Well, yeah, I mean, they would obviously have to do it first. And then you could make that point. But she shouldn't be directing, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, no, I mean, she definitely shouldn't be. There's like there's no argument for her to be doing that. Star Wars gives me anxiety now. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. What happened? I just tapped in. Oh, Delta Dan, let me just ask you a question. Okay? You've come in, and it's like a child walking into a movie theater in the middle of the film. So I just want some reference from you. You didn't hear anything I just said. So what do you think is happening with the Rey movie? You tell me. What do you think is happening with the Rey movie? Delta Dan in the hot seat. I'm genuinely curious. Like, what do you think is going on? Because I'll tell you right now, people are not going to believe this. The dude just got called out. It got put on the dusty bookshelf. Right, right. And I appreciate that answer because I think that's honest, and I think that's the impression that most people have. So, Delta Dan, what if I were to tell you that there's mounting evidence that you are now getting a whole trilogy of Rey movies? What would your reaction be then? I just got here and I'm glad I didn't say that. LOL. Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I mean. Is like, you know, that was a cool little moment because I dead ass think nobody's going to believe this. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of can't believe it either. Like, there's a part of me that's like, bro, there ain't no way. There's no way they're gonna do that. And yet, the evidence exists. Do you have a source saying this will happen? Because if not, I think Lucasfilm, they can't get the first movie started, let alone a trilogy. I don't think I'm trying to think of the last time I talked to somebody about Star Wars. Also, too, recognize that I'm not actually reaching out to a lot of people about Star Wars anymore. Because I hate it and stuff. So I haven't really been hitting people up. Do you want to know something crazy that I heard from a source? I heard Mara Jade's coming in. I actually heard that, and I think it was for Dave's movie. Mm-hmm. Played by Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish. What an interesting and unique individual, that Billie Eilish, you know? What an interesting individual, that Billie Eilish. Is it sad that I don't care about that either? That's how much I hate Star Wars right now. Yeah? Yeah. Meg has a video on this? All right, fine. Let's watch the Star Wars Meg video. And then let's do Superman leaks, and then we're going to call it, okay? Yep, I think Meg knows.
Some shocking new details have emerged about the Rey movie. I thought we were done, guys. You know, we took a break from the movie news in yesterday's video, and I thought we were done. I thought, until we get an update maybe at D23 or somewhere else, we had heard the latest. But it seems like with every passing day there is a new update. So, just to recap, in a Q&A with Collider, Daisy Ridley said, there is an exciting update coming very soon. An update is imminent. Then we had the report from Park and Variety that Stephen Knight, the screenwriter, was out, and then Daisy once again insisted, with Joshua Horowitz, there is an update still coming, something for Star Wars fans to look forward to. Well, today we have a double whammy of info, because not only has Daisy spoken to the Hollywood Reporter about this, but a renowned insider has shared some more specifics. Before we get into it though, my dear friends, please help me to reach 140,000 subscribers and ring the notification bell for daily Star Wars updates. We do everything on this channel: comics, lore, the latest in Star Wars movie news, Star Wars show.
So the other week, right, I took a tumble and I had Liam in my arms. We were running. We have this like thing where like at the end of one of our walks, I put the dogs in the house, and then I come back because he's, you know, got short little legs, and then I run in and I pick him up and I sprint back to the house, right? So we were doing our usual thing and I tripped, and I told you guys it was like slow motion as I was falling. Everything went into slow motion. My only thought was like, how do I protect Liam? And I got pretty scuffed. I got pretty messed up doing it. Oh, he's fine. He's 100% fine. And I'm almost 100% healed. This is actually still from it. Little thing on my hand there, and I got some scrapes and everything. So I bring that up because I'm watching this video with Meg. All the news that we just been talking about, it feels like I'm falling in slow motion again. Like I'm dead ass having that same sensation as I'm watching Meg explain even more about what we've just been talking about. This is fascinating. I don't know if you guys have that feeling. I feel like we're falling.
Shows, animated shows, you name it. Star Wars Meg, which is myself, is your one-stop shop for all things galaxy far, far away. But no more jibber jabber. Shall we dive into it? Let's do it. Insider John Rocker has shared some insight into what in the world is going on with Stephen Knight and the Rey movie. He begins by confirming what we all suspected. This has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I saw this coming after my sources told me on August 23rd that Knight had passed in 4+ versions of the script.
Alrighty then.
It wasn't just one script that Kathleen Kennedy didn't like. There were many versions, and Lucasfilm just said no, because they found, and here's the quote, non-stop issues and notes with all of them. He was apparently done with the process, so it's no surprise that he finally left. Now this is really important because when we spoke about movies like Rogue Squadron, when you're talking about Del Toro's Jabba the Hutt movie, whenever these creatives want to do something very different, maybe something daring, maybe something that would have brought a new spice to Star Wars,
Anyway.
Lucasfilm don't like it. Now in all fairness, we don't know specifics about what those scripts included, but we know Stephen Knight is a fantastic and talented writer, one with a career of experience, one who wouldn't have just handed in garbage. And you might say, well, maybe Meg, he just didn't understand Star Wars. And while that is a possibility, given Lucasfilm's track record, there is a higher chance that they just didn't like the direction. Maybe it's because we know Kathleen Kennedy and Charmin Obaid-Chinoy wanted a very specific type of Rey for this movie. They wanted Rey to be a certain type of Jedi, and maybe Stephen Knight's script clashed with that. And all of the changes in these 4+ versions they're speaking about still make...
And why would it clash with that? Remember the Josh from Xbox Live video? Why would a seasoned writer with a ton of professional credit, hit shows, massive success from just telling stories, why would a writer like that have a hard time?
Maintained the integrity of what he wanted to write. So when Lucasfilm said, sorry, no, you've got to change all of this, he probably said, well, you know what? You're asking for something that is so different to my vision. And Star Wars fans, rightly so, have been so frustrated that Lucasfilm wants to stifle creativity. Is it in part due to the backlash to The Last Jedi? What about the backlash for The Acolyte? Are they afraid of perceived creative risks? Or did Knight's ideas clash with those of Charmin Obaid-Chinoy? I'm talking about the controversy that she might be more interested in inserting aspects of her own political views and activism than a story about the new Jedi Order.
Absolutely.
We don't know the nitty-gritty, so it's hard to say for certain. But John Rocker goes on to say this. This may be why we started to hear that Mangold's Jedi film might start shooting early next year. Frustration, madness, and dysfunctional approaches, which, let's be honest guys, Lucasfilm is known for at this stage, still seem to be the way of things. This is a decade-long issue. Highly publicized cancellations, reshuffles, last-minute adjustments, last-minute director and writer changes. The reasons behind these can certainly be complex. The balance of creative freedom with lore, fan expectations, the financial issues going on at the moment at Disney. And if it was just a case of them taking their time to get it right, that's fine. But all of these other hurdles, the amount of projects announced just to be later scrapped, it just gets exhausting for the fandom. We just end up rolling our eyes and saying, well, here we go again. A widespread issue at Lucasfilm, which also goes into some of the live-action shows. The Star Wars universe under Disney just feels all over the place. And the creative shifts, especially in this portion of the timeline during the sequel era, has made the entire thing feel disjointed. So moving on to the second update, Daisy Ridley spoke with The Hollywood Reporter, and again, she's reiterating hope. But, and here's something significant we need to take into account, there is a chance she doesn't really know much. She's doing PR, making it seem as though everything is just fine. There's nothing to worry about. But if she is telling the truth about this, her comments in this interview are pretty major. She teases that while the movie is set to be a standalone, there is a chance it's going to be the first of another sequel trilogy. Here's the quote, "I feel like the new one, / new ones, will be so interesting. Time has passed and a lot has changed for me personally. So it'll be interesting to come back to someone who I know so well, but in such a different moment. For me to inhabit Rey again after all that time we haven't seen her, it's actually scary, but it's also exciting. The new Jedi Order movie might become the new Jedi Order trilogy, and as long as it has one cohesive vision, as long as the 3 movies have a consistency which 7, 8 and 9 didn't, and as long as they don't have these same issues they're having now, with reshuffling of writers, then there is a chance this iteration of Rey does land better than the last one. But I can't believe what's been happening. It's so crazy, every day there is more to this. Whether it's Lucasfilm or Marvel, what gets in the way is corporate strategy and IP oversight. Because they're prioritizing financial stability and safe, consistent hits over bold risks, they weren't gonna let Stephen Knight do something very different to their vision for Rey, which is pretty insane because I bet you his version would have been something fans would have preferred. Again, we don't know what he had.
Maybe Rey can start an OnlyFans, and the movie's about how she's making way more money as an OnlyFans model than she ever was as a scrapper or a Jedi or even involved in the New Republic, right? And then it's like maybe she has like a kid or even just a pupil, and then they find out at school that Rey has an OnlyFans, and then he snaps. He snaps. He goes to the dark side, you know?
Had in those scripts, but if it added some complexity that we've not seen from the character, then I can guarantee you it's better than what Lucasfilm expected. And because they're so caught up in what's been happening with the live-action shows, underperforming low viewership, they want a profit. I can't see them wanting to take a risk, so expect the Rey movie to be loaded with fan service. Do you guys remember the rumor that we might see Grogu in the new Jedi Order movie as a Mandalorian Jedi? I can't help but feel they're going to throw him in there as a MacGuffin and market the absolute quacked out of him. They're going to put him next to BB-8. You're going to see Funkos and action figures and you name it. If they're doing the corporate strategy, you're going to see that, hands down. But it seems like them burning through writers and directors proves no one really wants to work at Lucasfilm at the moment. As a creative who wants to express themselves in the galaxy far, far away, grow the universe, from the sounds of things, the conditions are pretty crippling. It's honestly such a huge red flag. And I don't mean to sound negative, but just the fact they announced another Rey movie after the backlash to 7, 8 and 9, that just shows you how out of touch Lucasfilm is with its audience.
That is exactly the take. That is exactly the take.
If they wanted to get Star Wars fans excited again, if they wanted to get Star Wars fans reinvigorated in the brand, they would have taken a sharp left turn and said, look, fans didn't respond well to this character. We might come back to in a few years' time, but right now is not it. It's only been 4 or 5 years since Rise. Maybe
and this is why, like, look, like, oh man, like, I'm trying to tread carefully here, but this is why, like, if Dave has signed on for this idea, like, part of me understands the thinking there, but I think that it just is true that he is not in touch with the actual fans anymore either. Because if you can't recognize, like, it would probably be difficult if you viewed all of that as just like super toxic, crazy backlash, right? And then you just kind of discounted it. You were like, these people are just all super toxic, they don't count. And then all that you look at is like, you know, some fans that don't respond well, but like a lot of fans that are just cheering you on and lapping it up. It's I understand that maybe that's difficult, but man, like it feels so obvious to like every person that I've talked about this with. Every single person has the same take. Like, that's just such a silly idea. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take something that was widely considered a failure, character that people did not respond to, and why would you make that the next thing? Like, it just doesn't make sense. That is inherently weird. And so if Dave, and honestly, if John, honestly, anybody that's riding with Kathy and thinking this is a good idea and this is what they should do, it's going to be really hard to root for them, because it just seems like you're doubling down on a terrible idea, and then you're going to call fans toxic when it bombs or underperforms. You haven't learned from any of your mistakes. You're going to set, you think Daisy Ridley's about to have a good time? Do you think you set her up for a good time before? Do you think you're setting her up for a good time now? Do you think you're setting Charmin Obed-Chinoy up for a good time? Do you think you're setting up John Boyega for a good time? Do you think you're setting up the leadership of Disney for a good time? Like, it's crazy. Like, what we've reached such a weird level with Star Wars that it's like, it literally is kind of surreal. It almost feels uncanny because it's so far removed from like just basic business acumen, basic business understanding. And we're over here trying to like read the tea leaves of a company that doesn't use logic. It's just very frustrating. So, yeah, let's finish this video. But I mean, look, Meg didn't even bring up the Cosmic Circus thing, but I think that's actually kind of an important thing too.
James Mangold's film be the first, so we explore a brand new era in Star Wars going all the way back. Let's have a reset. Let's make Star Wars amazing again. Yeah. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts on the new...
She almost said the thing. She almost said the thing. If it wasn't for a certain American McDonald's worker, she might have actually said it differently. Okay, anyway, chat. What the fuck is happening? Are we really getting a goddamn Rey trilogy? We're getting a fucking Rey trilogy? We're getting a Rey trilogy, guys. Are we gonna chat? Are we getting a Rey trilogy? Like, should we go to the polls? I just realized I didn't even put a poll up about liking the video, which is probably why the likes are so low. Oh, you liked today, huh? Well, clearly the data doesn't support me changing it just so I can get your like. What's this Dungeons and Dragons music? It's lit. That's what it is. It's lit, boys. Evil Diner 666 says, I definitely still don't believe it'll happen. Oh! Siri 1 says Finn should have become a Jedi as well. Agreed. Chocolate Homunculi. Possibly do TV verse connects to better random stories. You think they could possibly do? Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. He's talking about a Spider-Verse series of shows. I think that could work for Sony. No, I lied. Terrible stream. What? What the hell? I'd say 6, 7 out of 10 today. Not the best stream. You know, we started off on an awkward note where I was like, I'm canceling everything. I'm changing everything. Which, by the way, I want to remind everybody that we are considering moving the streams to either noon or 1 p.m. And we're thinking about going Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day at that same time, and doing like more news throughout the week So let us know what you think about that, either in the chat here or on the comment section once the video posts. I think Josh has us Twitch in the left monitor and only focuses on the right YouTube chat monitor. Nah, that's not really it. More wheel. Friday streams just have a different vibe, though. Okay, so, you know, maybe we could make a deal. You know, maybe we could make a deal. Maybe we do Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, we keep the Diamond Lounge on Discord. Could do still one Nerd Venger stream a week. I still kind of like Wednesdays for that. And basically just no evening streams. Because we couldn't do the watch party streams anymore. Now, we could occasionally still do watch party stuff. Hello, Steven. Can you hear me? What? Star Wars is lower than DC now? Yeah, I agree. I agree. Diamond Lounge Monday through Friday now. That's an idea. When does this schedule start? We're probably going to start next week. Watch parties in Discord? Well, it's not... The watch parties I don't have as much of a problem with doing it just on Twitch and stuff like that. It's more like I just need time. I can't like keep adding stuff to the schedule and not take stuff away. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. A pupil finds his holocron or whatever and brings him back. What, Palpatine? Keep Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday regular stream, and Wednesday a Nerd Venger stream. I heard the Rippers in Erie need a new DJ. I don't even know what that is. Who the fuck are the Rippers? What are you talking about? You know more about my town than I do. I get it. I'm just saying that way you don't get banned on Twitch. Yeah. That's fine. Yeah. Rippers is a strip club. There's a strip club in Erie called Rippers? Ain't no way. They are pretty fun, Dark Angel, and I agree. Well, look, so this is part of my thinking. Part of my thinking was if we didn't do Fridays, okay, and we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would have enough flexibility throughout the week where like maybe once a week or once every couple of weeks, I could do a cool evening stream and it wouldn't be a big deal. You know what I mean? Siri1 says, Josh, could you please stop calling me Siri? Yep. Delta Dan gifted a membership. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you. Is noon much different for international viewers? Streams in Australia start at 11 p.m. Ooh, that's tough, brother. That's tough. That would be a little bit later for you, yeah. Don't act like you don't know about Rippers. No, I don't know about Rippers. I know about, there's a place in the county called Candies. And that's like huge. Like that place is one of the biggest draws in the tri-state area. Now that is a place. But like Rippers. Oh, it's slang for strip club. Oh, okay. Josh, just do 2 streams Monday through Friday. I know it feels like some people just want me to be constantly streaming, yet somehow do you enjoy their afternoon buffet. Yeah, but you know the cheeseburgers have glitter on them. So it's tough, man. Glitter is really hard to get out. Josh has way too many stamps on his Ripper's card. What the fuck is a Ripper's card? What is happening? It's Sire, but with a C. So basically my name's spelled backward. Sire. Okay, gotcha. Just do whatever fits your family's schedule. Well, I think this would fit the schedule. This would give me like more of my morning to make sure I'm making good videos and doing good comic book stuff or whatever. And then we'd go at like noon or 1. And we'd talk about the news and we'd chill, have fun, you know? How many will be on time? Probably like 1 out of 5. Something like that. Chat is unhinged about from the Raid Trilogy movie. Yeah, maybe. Remember when you were streaming every day at 10 a.m.? Dude, part of me would love that still. But I think that's too early for people. You know? Please don't change the stream time unless you go earlier. I'm sorry, I can't do that. 10:01 then? Yeah. Josh's gonna sound like this for the next 10 years. Yeah, probably. Everybody smash like if KK smells like butt. Good one. Perfectly juvenile. We try to make everyone happy. You make no one happy. Yeah, for sure. What about a midnight stream? Oh, what the hell? That's 9 a.m. right now for me. Which one? Noon? So you must be West Coast then? Season 14 of Josh at a new day and time. I've changed it up a little bit, yeah. Would the videos go up earlier? Potentially. It would depend on the video. It would give us a chance to do a quick turnaround vid for sure. If we really needed to. But probably not. Probably most vids would probably drop around 4. The stream time now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so like this is kind of what I'm thinking. This is like what I'm cooking. Is I want to put out at least 4, maybe 5 really well thought out, well edited, well produced videos a week. Okay? And yet I still want to do streams where we go over things, and sometimes that would be just smaller bits of news or maybe just news, whereas a big video could be like a theory or like a really intricately put together kind of a thing. And I'd like to be able to have like, so I was thinking like this. I could wake up, let some of the early news come in, because sometimes like news will hit at like 9 or 10 a.m. Like, you know, a trailer or a big report in the Hollywood trades. It usually hits in the morning. Sometimes in the afternoon too, right? But a regular day would be like, I wake up, work on a video, see if there's news coming out. Either get the video ready to go before stream if it's like really, really important, or video afterwards. Okay? And I would stream at noon till like 3 or 4. Then I would turn around, upload the video, then upload the stream, at least the news portion, to the podcast feed, and then drop the clips on the clips channel, and then I'm done for the day. Like, does that make sense? So that feels like a totally doable kind of a situation. What's wrong with the current schedule? Well, mostly like I'm just crunching on videos. I feel like the current schedule is perfect. So the problem with the current schedule has more to do with when does news drop, and then how am I able to cover it, right? So like today's kind of an interesting example. there was news about Blade, and there were news about the Battle World movies. And I wanted it in an ideal situation. I would wake up, I would do that video, I would send that off to my editor, which I actually do a little bit of editing first. Like the current workflow that I have is like I write, record, and then I do what I call a flow edit, and then I pass it off to the editor, and the editor puts like a bunch of B-roll and like bells and whistles and stuff, right? The problem is I've been running right up to the stream, so it's like one of two things is happening. Actually, a lot of things are happening. Usually the video is not as quality, then the stream is not as quality because I'm not taking like a good half hour to 45 minutes to like really think through what I'm going to talk about on stream and get in the right zone. So it's not cool if like I pass a lot of the videos. Like last week, a lot of streams, they were not good. And part of why they weren't good is like I was editing a video till about 5 minutes before stream. And then I send the video off and then I do the stream. I'm not prepared. Like that's not good. Does that make sense? So I need my morning. I need more time in the morning to make sure the video is good and to make sure that I'm prepared for the stream. Have you considered meth? Yeah, no, I'm too old for that. Too old for that, you know? Yeah. 12 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Throw in a Twitch watch party when there's something you want to watch. I mean, yeah, something like that's cool. Derail your life. Start the dad speech early. Well, that's another thing too, is like I'm pushing streams a little closer to Liam's nap time. That way it kind of takes a little bit of pressure off of the morning, but really it takes a lot of pressure off the evening. Because like a lot of right now, like I'll sometimes, like it's a bad cycle. It's a bad cycle because then I'll be like last week, right? I'll be like, okay, I got to get this video done. And then I'm doing the flow edit and then it goes right up to the stream. And then boom, I do the stream. And then like that night or that afternoon, I'm then getting the video uploaded and I'm trying to get ahead of the video for tomorrow so that I'm not crunching as much. And then it's like, I'm not spending any time with my family, right? So part of this is like, I'm trying to adjust where there's a lot of things I want. Number one, I want us to be able to stream a lot because the community's strong. It's dope to be able to talk these things through with you guys. I love being able to just go and then we talk about the news. I was feeling a little bit of pressure to make the streams a little bit more video produced worthy. And I think that's a mistake. I think we need to let the stream be the stream. Let the stream be more casual. I think it still works as a stream. I think it still works as a podcast. It doesn't have to be as produced. But the flip of that is like, I can definitely do more producing with the vids. So we set up some super well-produced content on the main channel. Then we're streaming like 4 or 5 times a week, breaking down news, talking, having conversations, watching videos, reacting, right? So I think this is the best way to do it. Speaking of family, my wife. Good morning, sweetheart. It's 2 p.m. Sweetheart, it's 2 p.m. over here. Josh is the fast and the furious of streaming. I mean, maybe a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know if you heard this in a while, Josh, but we all appreciate you kicking it with us and sharing fun news. Hope you're proud and happy for the community you've shaped. Much flowers, brother. Thanks, brother. No, I feel really good about the community. Like, I think we have an incredible community. There is a reality of trying to grow the brand there's a reality of trying to sort of grow the platform and do things in a way that we hadn't. And I have some partners and I have some help, and we're really trying to sort of scale up and grow, right? And with that comes changes, maybe reconsideration of some things. But at its core, I mean, you can't like forget what got you there, right? So there's this expression, you dance with who brought you. You guys ever hear this? I've lived 1,000 lives since this morning. Yeah, that's mom duty. I understand that. You dance with who brought you. Meaning, I don't want to stop streaming. And like, maybe this is more of a conversation for a Prime stream, which I owe you guys a Prime stream, right? But let me just say this, like, I think there's potential that people that don't understand the space fully would tell me, just do videos. Just do videos. Just do the live or do the regular channel and just spend, like, if you spent every day just making super highly produced long form content that could live on a podcast feed or on a video, if you just did that, that's actually your best path to growth. It's actually your best path to relationships with advertisers, because advertisers, for the most part, still sell off of like volume and numbers. There's a lot of logical reasons to just go all in on videos. Okay? But I will not do that. Because what got me to this place has been the streams. Okay? And look, of course, we've done some really big videos and we've been pretty consistent on the platform with numbers for a long time. And that's obviously important. But I would not have been able to sustain that channel without the live streaming channel. The live streaming channel makes like 70-80% of our revenue because you guys take care of us, right? And so as we enter into this new era, which is growing things, being more serious, partnering, taking brand opportunities more seriously, taking advertisers more seriously, valuing the relationship that we have with advertisers, there's also a reality of satisfying the base that got us there, right? So it might seem like, and maybe earlier on in the stream, it seemed like, oh, Josh is just restricting, Josh is just cutting, Josh is doing this, that, second, and the third. But the reality is, what I've been working on, a lot of the thoughts that I've been having has been, how do I preserve the streaming? Does that make sense? Like, how do I preserve this thing that we have? And I think you just need to find a way to fit it in differently, which is why I think like noon or 1 is the move. Does that make sense? What percentage of Nerd Vengers go to the Diamond streams? What's the ratio? I mean, it's lower for sure, but we've been getting like 100, sometimes even, I think one of them recently almost got 200 people in there on a Diamond Lounge. And that's a little scary. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, that's a little scary. They used to be like 20, 30, 50, and I felt way more chill, you know? But you get like 100 in there, you get 200 in there, and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, like this is like a moderate streamer size. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. That's why we said up it, bro. Because the 6-month minimum didn't grow over time. Yeah, I think that's true. I don't really want to change that, though. I'm actually pretty comfortable with just taking it off YouTube. Yeah. Like, if we just take it off YouTube, I'll be pretty comfortable with it. So I think we solved that one. In fact, this Friday, I think we're going to do it on Discord. I'm going to work to figure that out. We'll do it via Discord. Take what off YouTube? Oh, the Diamond Lounge. We're going to do Diamond Lounge streams via Discord. Yeah. Because technically, you all had to go through Discord to get the link either way. So. Mm-hmm. Don't scare me like that. Oh, sorry. It'll be in the Diamond Lounge section. Yeah, it'll be its own stage. We'll have to set that up. I'm not sure how it works. And I might have to boost the channel or the Discord to a certain level. But yeah. Taylor says, much love, Josh. Wish I could sneak into the Diamond Lounge this week before it's gone. But totally respect why you aren't doing it anymore, brother. Well, we changed it. We're still going to do it. We're still going to do it. Although I'm going to maybe tone it down just a little bit. And we're going to take it off YouTube. Sire said, oh, thanks, Sire1. Says, gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Missed the member chat? My bad, brother. My bad, bro. Let's see here. Kaylin Jack says, damn, if Craven does well, Sony gonna Sony again. Venom 4 might be in production. That's true. Let's see here. Where's your message, bro? Star Wars Sith says somehow Zoom returned. I know, right? Crazy. Noah said with a 10 spot, I just saw Venom the other day with some nerd Avengers. Thank you for cultivating the best nerdy community out there and even allow that to be a possibility. Keep up the hard work, sir. Much love. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Let's see. It's all good. I'm here for the growth and change. You have my support. Thanks, brother. Vincent says, I DM'd you on Discord. I will look at that. Thank you, brother. Andrea says, just kidding. I never even made it to the Diamond Lounge. I wish I could have gotten to witness it, but it's all good. We'll likely always dig your content. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. And then Andreas gave us a sticker. Appreciate that. Jared says, broke Venger since 2018, but Nerd Venger version 3 was okay. Oh, Venom 3 was okay. Eddie and Venom are the whole trilogy. Agatha has been better than expected. Hope they don't fumble the end. Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see what the end of Agatha is going to be like. It's been better than I thought it would be. That last episode was truly really good. And you can kind of see that reflected in the numbers. Like that only happens when your word of mouth is good. So you got word of mouth and it's really positive for that. Awesome. And so you saw a pop there. I think that's great. And they have 2 episodes left, the 2-episode finale. So we'll see if they can bring it home. Yeah, I saw that, Trev. I mean, on the one hand, that kind of sucks, but on the other hand, it's like, okay, cool. I mean, maybe that's not... I wouldn't mind that, because Aubrey Plaza's death, I still don't fully get it, right? So... it's hard for me to say, like, I want Thanos to be there, because I really don't know what the fuck they're doing with death in general. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're still alive? Yeah, we're gonna shut her down right now, though. We're ending the stream. I appreciate you guys. Did you see Plaza said she feels like she was born to play this character? I can't tell if she was being sarcastic or not. Oh, she's probably just being Aubrey Plaza. And that's just kind of a funny thing to say. I was born to play death. That's just kind of like a quirky, funny thing to say. You know? What's your favorite animal? Why is it the ostrich? I don't even know what an ostrich is. Oh, you're good. Okay, everybody. Hey, much love. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. We actually went over a ton of news. Make sure you check out the Doctor Doom theory video that I'm dropping later today. It's going to blow your mind. And we will be back at it Wednesday at 11. And we'll talk more about the coming changes. Because we could be live tomorrow. If the changes had happened, we would be live tomorrow talking about news again. You see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Hey, don't say that, Adam. When I make a decision, I've made a decision until I make a different decision. He made a decision, me. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? No, I know nobody left. Anyway. What an incredible start to the week, you know? Really set the tone with this one. You know, there was shock. There was drama, confusion. Shattered dreams and broken promises. And then we struck a deal. So, that's good. And in all seriousness, I think that it's actually good to like talk these things out this week and then get on a new schedule next week and see how it does. You know, if it doesn't do well, if people don't like it or whatever, we can always change it. But I think, you know, a 12, maybe a 1, maybe a 12:30. Maybe we split the difference. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Superman leaks. It's too late. We already shut the stream off. We're already over 3 hours. Austin says, go make grilled cheese. Okay, I will. All right, everybody. 12:34. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Evening streams? I don't know about that. Oh yeah, you guys, 60% of you are about to be real fucking mad by the end of the year. I mean, we'll see. Okay, everybody. Appreciate you. As always, I'll see you later. Remember to open up your third eye and wash out your stinky butthole and get it ready for more Ray Skywalker.